Hello, folks, and welcome back to the party that never ends because nobody decided to clean up the mess. All right, so we're just going to look at this screen for a while we wait for motherfuckers to show up. I like the term motherfucker. It's probably my favourite swear word, actually. It is one word, motherfucker. I mean, it's two words condensed together, but it is one word. By the way, after quarantine's over and the revolution starts, the first people I'm going to have killed are adults. Hopefully only adults that use this phrase, but anyone who calls semen cummies is getting killed. Like, they're just straight against the wall firing squad. Just waiting for the notification squad to be notified. And then when they get here, I'll just chase them around the house for a bit with a ballpoint pen and we'll get started. This person we're looking at is Colin's Key. I'm going to scroll down so you can take a break from this just repugnant soy face for a moment and just scroll down so you can have a look at how many views this video has. It's, in case you can't see it, it is 38 million. So, you know, there's that. How's everybody doing? I'm gonna be taking suggestions tonight as well for bad content. We're not just gonna be watching this guy's stuff. We're watching all sorts of things. I've got two videos queued up. I've got one from this guy, and I've got a blind watch of another nostalgia critic video. So a new nostalgia critic video I haven't seen, which we're gonna be blind watching together. But yeah, there we are. 38.5 million views. That's the thumbnail. Who clicks on this? Who looks at that and goes, yeah, that's what I want to watch. And like, look across the screen for a moment. He has other thumbnails that are basically identical. Like, he's poured slime on himself once and gone, well, I'm not going through that hell again. And like, that's just an image he crops into every one of his thumbnails. Fucking garbage. Mystery Wheel of Slime Challenge 2 W/funny satisfying DIY how to switch up game. And again, this is that typical I have no content algorithm riding that people do, where it's just words, you know. Challenge, funny, satisfying, DIY, game. You know what I mean? It's the title of the video doesn't matter. It's just like one of those, do not call boss baby at 3 a.m. Oh my god, he answered, he can't. Do you know what I mean? It's just a big long string of keywords. I just replied to my friend who just texted me. Now, Gemma's not feeling very well, so she's not going to be joining us tonight. But I will pass on any messages. And right, now that we've got 69 people in the chat, I think that's the ideal number.
Slime dump! 3, no, 2, oh gosh, 1!
Well, I hated that. That was 3 seconds. Should point out I've never seen this before. This video, Gemma sent it to me. I don't know anything about these guys.
Slime dump!
Oh, it started again from the beginning. That's lovely.
3, no, 2, oh gosh, 1! You challenged us to make slime with blenders. Alright, let's spin for the first blender ingredient. 3, 2, 1. That is a solid spin.
Nicely done. Good job.
Alright, I got white glue.
And I got packing peanuts. Wait, dude, you're starting without me?
Yeah.
How do I get mine?
Oh, well, don't worry, Devin, because I've actually ordered.
I'll be honest with you. I didn't know this was two different people. I thought the thumbnail was two pictures of the same guy. Genuinely, I thought it was two pictures of the same guy. Like this one. That's both of them. Look, the mystery wheel of slime challenge hot Cheetos thumbnail, that's 2 different people. Jesus Christ. And like, there's a height difference and everything. You can tell they're not twins, but they're the same age. I don't think are they? They must be brothers. Yeah, there we are. Brothers, not twins. Okay, yeah. I was going to say, surely there's not just 2 people that look exactly like that who became friends.
Something which should be delivered right about now. Yeah!
Jeez, what?
Dude, it's the geek delivery service number 4 in America.
Wait, that's my package, dude. Why are you taking my package?
This is my shake, bro. This is my shake.
This is...
Jesus Christ. Okay, This is incredible. Where do these people keep coming from? 21.1 million subscribers. What is the content? We're going to make slime. And this is slime challenge number 2. They've done this before. Dog picks our mystery slime challenge number 2. They've done more than one episode where the dog, I guess, chooses what ingredients to make the slime. 38.5 million views. To watch a couple of asexual Ken dolls throw a box of nails around and scream at each other. What am I missing?
Your what?
It's my shake. No. All right, there we go.
Dude, what do you keep on talking about shakes for?
Because these are my shakes, bro. I ordered them.
I thought these were my packing peanuts, Cons.
Ah, there we go. This is my shake. I'm gonna enjoy
only
that.
ordered one? How dare you?
I hate how warped that glass looks.
Don't worry, Evan. I got you, bro.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Hopefully I did.
Okay.
Ah, yes, I did. Okay. And here you go. Cheers.
Cheers. Yes.
And I guess I gotta return this now. So, okay.
I still don't have my packing.
Hysterical. Just really, really funny stuff. I can only hope of being, dream of being this funny. Really, I'm ashamed that I'm not this funny, guys. It's really just embarrassing for me to look up to these great men and think these are heights of comedy I'll never reach.
Peanuts, though, bro.
Oh, what? You mean these? No.
Jesus Christ! I mean, it's the same 2 fucking people. The same 2 people popping up in the bottom, and this. I mean, this looks like an ad you would see on like the worst of network television. Like, coming soon, a new season of 2 total dickweeds. Thank you, Phantom Gline. The worst of YouTube candidates are the best case against capitalism. Yes, and I say this as an ardent supporter of capitalism. It's like supply and demand. The free. You know what? Sometimes the market is wrong. Sometimes the people are wrong.
That's not good, so yay! All right, glue is, ooh, that's a lot. Time to spin the wheel for our second ingredient. Here we go, 3, 2, 1. This better be a good ingredient that we can actually blend up. It doesn't break our blender. Ooh, I got red, okay.
I got green, pink.
I hate the way they speak as well. Not just the loud volume, but the way it's like, hey guys, we gotta get this around, spin this around for a blender. Like, you're a professional entertainer who talks to an audience. Why can no one speak? I don't understand. When we did Morgs, it was like, "Hey guys, Morgs here," and I thought he had a hearing problem. Like, sorry. Riker! Hey Cope, was wondering if you've seen any content from that pretentious zoophile who's friends with Ralph the Movie Maker. Also, I'm so glad you're streaming on my B-Day. Well, happy B-Day to you, my dear friend. I haven't seen any recent Your Movie Sucks videos, but it could be a candidate. It could be if there's one in particular that you're thinking of.
Glue. I got shaving cream. All right, I got the shaving cream, and right now, there's a special way I gotta dispense it.
Wow, all right.
No!
Dude, my hand.
Touch my heart and it'll go away.
All right.
Oh no, dude, I can feel it building up. I gotta add this quickly. Oh no, dude, look, it's going. It's gonna go. Any second, it's gonna go.
What's happening? That's not me trying to be funny. I mean, what's going on here? Like, he's screaming. Right, I'm just trying to understand the story of this video. He's frightened because if he doesn't get the shaving cream in the blender fast enough, then the unicorn horn strapped to his head will explode. Is that what's happening?
Wait, dude, how are you floating? happening?
Isn't it obvious? I have become one with the universe. It is not.
What I really hope now is while he's floating, is just says, and while I'm up here, I need to tell you about Raid Shadow Legends. That would genuinely make this whole video. I'd forgive them everything if they just did a sponsorship for fucking Raid
Time
right
to
now.
spin for our next ingredients. Universe.
Although this makes me think about Raid as in the cockroach killing chemical and just pumping it into the vents of their home.
Take me to the left. That was great, but just a little bit to the right. You're doing great. If I could just go up and to the side just a smidge. Oh, nice try.
Also, imagine, for whatever reason, you just want to see the slime. You know, let's say you're the kind of person who actually looked up slime challenge, or you looked up DIY slime, because you're into that. I don't know. Maybe it's a sex thing. I'm not here to judge. Well, I'm here to judge these people. I'm not here to judge you, mysterious person I've made up for the sake of an argument, in the spirit of Ralph the Movie Maker, or that other guy we made fun of. What was his name? I Hate Everything. That was it. You know, I'm not, but do as they do. I'm making up a person now to have an argument with. But let's just say that you've tuned in because you want to see slime. You want to see a couple of lads make slime and dump it on each other. Where is that? This is just people dicking about.
To the wheel.
No, my wheel! How is this so hard? All right, well, right now, let's get back to making some slime.
Yes, let's, shall we? That's the name of the video.
Oh my gosh, well, we're about to spin for our final ingredient, and you actually have the chance to win some crazy prizes because this video is sponsored by Honey Nut Cheerios, so stick around to find out how you could win. And right now,
This video is sponsored by Honey Nut Cheerios. Is that real? Is that a real sponsorship?
let's spin. 3, 2, 1. All right, let's see what this is.
Mine is activator.
Green paint. Tell me what the green paint. I got my friend Tuna the Tiger right here. We're gonna feed him a little bit of this green paint. Oh, he's still super hungry. That's why his mouth is still open. Oh no, dude. It looks like Tuna the Tiger has a terrible tummy ache. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh,
What's gonna happen?
Dude. Oh my gosh, Tuna, you feeling better? Time to spin for the final ingredient. Then we get to blend this all up. And
If I had children that I caught watching this content, I would put them up for adoption.
see, can you really make slime in a blender? So here we go. 3, 2, 1. I hope I get a final good ingredient.
I'm thinking red.
Red? I got green. Okay. Yes, dude. I got an activator.
Oh, nice. And I got metallic pigment. Ooh, this stuff is really cool, Cons.
This thing is like stuck. How does this thing work? Well, you know, I guess we gotta add some stop flow now. So you know how much I need to add, Devin? One this dude. And that's enough of this, dude. All right, here we go. The moment of truth. Can we blend this into?
Can you suffer like a head injury from watching a YouTube video? Like, genuinely, I'm concerned for my safety. Like, do you think you can injure yourself doing this? Like, you can get an aneurysm, maybe.
Slime, you ready? 3, 2, we're in first 3-second like challenge. We want to see if you can like this video in 3 seconds.
Let's
Are you
see.
ready?
Can I like the video in 3 seconds?
2, 1, done.
No, I couldn't. I couldn't do it. Sorry, I failed the challenge.
It's worked. And stop. All right, let's just see how this is turning out, bro. Is it working? Yours looks so crazy. Dude, this thing got blended up like crazy. Now let's add it to the bowl.
This got blended up like crazy. Yeah, you put a bunch of ingredients in a blender. What did you think was going to happen, you insufferable tool?
The final part here. And let's see if the bottom is any different than the top. What? Whoa. It came right out.
This video is sponsored by cocaine. Yeah.
Broke the blender. I can't.
They obviously, just the CEO of cocaine didn't give them any money, just sent them a bunch of coke. It was like, here you go, guys, make a video.
I can't believe a blender like legit made slime. Dude, yours looks
Uncle Octopus says in Benji Pro voice, let's suppose you clicked on a video to watch a slime video, and there was a sex thing. Slime does not care for your feelings, okay? My wife's a doctor.
Crazy. This looks so awesome. Dude, this slime has me looking like Metallic Man.
What?
Great joke. This slime has me looking like Metallic Man. Why do I even bother? Like, why do I bother with this YouTube thing? I know that I could never be funny enough to say this slime makes me look like Metallic. It's genius. It's just the slime, and it's on his hands, and now he's made himself orange, and he's metallic. Fucking brilliant comedy. I can see why funny is in the title of the video. Not just the description, but the title.
Why'd you freeze?
Because if I move, it'll go away.
No, Devin, we've gotten way better at this. You can move around now.
Whoa. Whoa.
Exactly. You get to comment down below who made cooler blender slime, and right now we are on to the next round. Right now, time to spin for. Oh my.
We should comment who won. They've just asked us to, you know. Let's see. I'm unsure who won the challenge. Oh, to be honest, all I know is, just making sure I'm actually typing this quickly. All I know is that I lost. I think that'll do. There we are. And back to the video.
For the first ingredient. 3, 2, 1. All right, let's see what our first ingredient is.
Dude, I got a candle.
Dude, I got pancake batter. Dude, these are literally instant pancakes.
There's a couple steps to it.
Well, yeah, I know. I'll show you the couple steps. You go like this.
What?
There we go. That's number 1. And then, whoa. Wow.
Dude, what are you
Oh,
doing?
snap.
You
See, look,
broke
it's
it
becoming
open.
instant.
Whoa. Dude, okay.
And now for the final step for my instant pancakes. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Bam! Just like that. Boom! Instant pancakes.
Wait, how did you do that?
I actually got a little bit left. Hold on. Let me just.
What? All right, I'm gonna try putting this in the microwave
That was almost funny. Well done.
and melting it down. All right, it's out of the microwave. This stuff actually looks super cool.
Dude, that looks like a strawberry puree. All right, here we go. Time for the spin. 3, 2, 1. All right, let's see here. What? Okay, I got like something very slime related. I got.
Why is he wearing a dinosaur claw? What did I miss? Like, I blinked. The editing is so out of control. I blinked and he had a dinosaur claw.
Fine.
I got white glue. All right,
I gotta hold my eyes open so I don't miss anything.
this is looking weird.
Oops. Oh, no. Okay, back in. Okay, let's try that again. Yes!
This is actually making me dizzy. Do you remember when Cloverfield came out at the cinema years back and people were reporting motion sickness?
Okay, let's see what
And
mine
I went and saw the film and I didn't have any problems like that. I mostly had problems with the story.
Toasted
But
bread. This is the job for the human warmer.
I'm actually becoming dizzy from watching this. I see the problems they had with that movie I'm having with this video.
Powers aside, give me the toast. Here we go. I'm gonna have to go to a maximum.
Hate to say it.
How does this have over 900 likes? That's a shit return on investment though, isn't it? Like, what a shoddy return on investment. Like, oh, sorry, 991,000 likes. I was about to say, surely some of these views are fake if there's only 991 likes. Oh, never mind. That's just me cracking an egg on my head and pouring it all over my own face. Forget it for a moment.
I mean, yes, slightly warmer.
Dude, I can tell you don't take my powers seriously. You know what? I'm done with this, bro. Human warmer out.
Why did he disappear? Okay, well, I guess I'll continue making my slime.
Okay, and I'm back.
Whoa, where did you come from?
I came from the pantry. I found a toaster. I mean, I used my powers.
Did you say you found a toaster?
What? Yes, I am the toaster.
So you're admitting your powers are useless.
The toast is going in. My aim is not that good. Time to mix in the toast.
Shame.
Oh, that's crunchy. Holy cow, I can feel the burntness. It's like engulfing.
This is the kind
my
of shit that,
fingertips.
you know, when like
Whoa, all right, the bowl.
kids,
Oh my gosh, they got flour everywhere.
you know,
Time for the
kids
final
used to
again.
want to be
Come on,
astronauts,
let's just
you know.
hold it together because otherwise
Or
my
something
fingers
shallow,
are
you know, a
disaster.
kid might be like, oh, I want to be a TV presenter, I want to be an actor.
Yes.
Now kids want to be
That's amazing.
YouTubers.
Hopefully this works. You ready? 3, 2,
Those kids who want to be YouTubers
Wait
should
a
watch
minute.
this.
Is it
Dude, it's
hard-boiled?
hard-boiled.
Because it's like the mystery wheel challenge. Half of them must be hard-boiled and the other half must be raw. Oh, let's crack them on your head and find out which is which.
It's a horrible game.
3, 2, 1. Ow! Ow! I'm gonna try another egg. 3, 2,
Like, there's no sense, there's no feeling.
Ow.
Oh, it's not hard.
But like,
I mean,
this,
how do
to
you like
me,
it, bro? Oh,
makes me not want to make content.
3, 2.
Like, that's not like me trying to be like, haha, funny, melodramatic thing to say. No,
I think I'm done with this game.
I'm kind of
Like it just got hit with
appalled
100 hammers. All right, here we go. Let's go for the
that
final mix.
I share a
that
sort
feels
of a
weird.
job
I'm gonna
with
try
these
putting
people.
it back into the candle. Ooh.
Like, maybe I should go back to school when this whole COVID-19 thing's
All
over.
right, time to light it. Here we go.
Dude, is it gonna work?
3, 2,
Some English bloke.
1.
Open the door, get on the floor, everybody edits in the dinosaur. It is very heavily
You
edited.
can comment down below who made it cooler.
Phantom guy, Clockwork
Breakfast
Orange,
slime
eye
versus
torture,
slime
except
versus
Alex is watching
Right
these
now,
two.
we're on to the next round. Time to spin for the first ingredient. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
I'm far too lazy, but there is definitely a YouTube video there.
Just
Just stop it, please, I beg
It's
you!
more like a turquoise. It looks closer to Gumby than it does to an actual blue. Dude, let's see how far I can stretch him.
I'm so down. I'm so down.
Go for it. Don't let go. You promise?
Or that scene
I
in
promise.
The Mouth of Madness where Sam Neill's watching his own life on, well, not Sam Neill, but the Sam Neill character. He's watching his own life on the movie screen, eating the popcorn, and he starts laughing and he ends up screaming. Just this is what he's watching.
What is
Wait,
this?
hold up.
I call it. I want it in my slide. I put it in my slide. Bam. extra bonus ingredient for this one.
All right, now it's time to add my glue.
All right, let's go for the next spin. 3, 2, 1. I hope
I
get
can't.
something
I
that's gonna
cannot believe I'm saying this, guys, but I can't wait to watch the Nostalgia Critic after this.
make my slime more buoyant.
Red.
It's just gonna make me appreciate his content.
Oh,
I got an activator, bro.
I got seaweed. Well, I guess we have to see what kind of seaweed it is, because that makes all the difference. Bro, I got wet seaweed. But hopefully
Yeah, I
can
think
use
I'm
a
gonna
little
go back to
Star Wars
school.
to make it better. So.
Genuinely, I think I might start
What was that?
trying to save some money for that. Because this
Dude, it actually
Oh my gosh, yo! The only thing it's missing right now
This
is
is
just some
not
seasoning. Just go
what
like
I wanna
this
be
and-
doing.
Oh no! Bro, it's
I'm
back to
embarrassed.
wet. Wait. Whoa! You know, I just have to go with my hands and I just gotta go.
next time, like, you know what I mean? If I'm at like an event and someone's like, "Oh, what do you do?" And, "Oh, I make YouTube videos." Is this what they're thinking about? I mean, they're not going to be thinking. They haven't seen my stuff. Most people, my content's very small, but this 38.5 million. This is statistically speaking.
What you're saying?
This is what they're thinking of.
Shaving cream.
No! I got glitter!
I'm embarrassed.
It's a massive canister of glitter. Whoa.
Wait, let me see.
Oh, dude! Oh my goodness, dude! Your face!
What?
It's sparkling!
Dude, your face too.
It is.
I can fix it with the wand. Here we go. 3,
Okay.
2, 1. You're back to
Did it work?
normal. Yeah.
It did? Okay,
All right,
great.
Now
All
do
right,
my
your
face.
turn.
Here we go. 3,
All right.
2, 1.
Nope, got worse.
Yeah, worse.
Yeah, it got way worse. Try
I can't believe I'm saying this, but Nostalgia Critic is going to be such a breath of fresh air. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm right there with
Bro,
you.
just like totally just like poke your finger down into it.
It's amazing that somebody is so loud and obnoxious that I'm looking forward to the restraint of Doug Walker.
crazy.
But I can't get it on my finger, bro.
All you need is a glove.
3, 2, 1.
Whoa!
The reason I think Gemma sent me this during quarantine rather than normal is she knows I can't leave her with stuff in
I need another glove. Do you by any chance have
And
another glove?
by the time
Can I
quarantine's
please have
over,
another glove?
she's probably thinking I'll have forgiven her for
It
this.
feels like sand. This looks insane.
We're about to spin for our final ingredient, and here's how you could have the chance to win an Xbox One X, tablets, gift cards, and a whole
Oh yeah,
bunch more.
Iguana
Basically,
boy,
the Be
I'm
Good Rewards
starring in the
program is all
remake
about doing
of
good, and there are 3 celebrity teams led
Billy
by
Madison.
Michael B. Jordan, Lucy Hale, and Gronk, who have each partnered up with a
So,
charity.
yeah,
I'm on
I
team
go to-
Michael B. Jordan, whose
I have
charity
to go to
is
school
Feeding America,
and
along with my ambassador teammate
pass
Paula
every
Sapp,
grade
who I
and, like, have to do
absolutely
each one
love,
in a
and
week.
I chose this team because
That was the
mission
part of
is
that movie,
super
right?
important to me, and it's actually inspired me to donate to our local food bank. And now here's how you can win some awesome prizes. You'll need a box of Cheerios. Register at BeGoodRewards.com. Select your team, scan your BuzzCoin, and donate. Join my team and help us win $100,000 for charity by scanning and donating your BuzzCoin. Collect BuzzCoin, do good, and right now let's spin for our final ingredients. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. I hope we get something good.
I've just joined the 28,000 people who decided to actively click the dislike button rather than just click away from the video. How are we only halfway through this? I think I'm going to stop. Like, there's nothing else to it, right? I mean, it's just these retards screaming at each other. Isn't it? That's the whole video. And then they take the slime outside, I guess. Let's get a change of scenery. Let's go outside.
You know what? I think you lost this challenge, bro. What? I swept this game, bro. This was all mine.
See, I thought this might happen, so I brought a backup plan.
Wait, what? Devin, where are you, Devin? Where'd you go?
Stop acting like you didn't
Apparently
like
Devin's somewhere
write
with a lot
and
of
plan this entire skit.
Oh my gosh!
It actually kind of
That
works.
is not fair.
You like
What is
my
that?
slime? It's mac and cheese slime, bro.
Dude, I do not want cheese in my hair at
Well,
all.
I gotta
No,
do it.
no.
Then you give me that bucket, and I won't dump this on your head.
Okay, fine. You
All
get
right,
on my bucket of
yeah,
slime.
okay, all right, there we go.
You got
can
slime
hold
on me.
that.
Like, is this even slime? It looks like mac and cheese.
I know, it looks like you could eat it, but you can't. So don't.
Don't eat this.
Collins, you need to sit down. Grab a chair.
I grabbed no.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen enough. I think we all have. So, I guess on to Nostalgia Critic. Yeah, genuinely excited to be doing Nostalgia Critic now. I have never seen this video. This is quite a new one from what I understand. I haven't watched it. Yeah, 4th of March, so relatively new. Couple of weeks old. Let's hit play. That logo. Oh, you need to take that logo off your content. Like, honestly, that's like just zooming in on a turd at this point. So Spider-Man.
Spider-Man does whatever a spider does. Spins the
Fuck's sake. I really thought I'd be like chuffed to watch Nostalgia Critic after that. Like, oh, what a we were joking in the chat about a breath of fresh air, but look at Doug's face. Look at Doug. Look at him. Bloody hell.
Web any size. No, he can't. He's a pig. Sorry. We're not that good at rhymes.
This is from 2020. 2020. I've forgotten how to speak. This is from 2020, and you've made. See, I'm getting better at YouTube because I've forgotten how to speak, so I'll get more views now. You've made a reference to the Simpsons movie. Well done. Just really on it with those references. Oh, fucking look at that face. The face of a man who's watched his entire life fall apart, isn't it? Look at him.
Hyper?
Why is every single one of his videos like this? Like, you can set your watch to a Nostalgia Critic review. It's like, okay, and the critic walks in the room, stops, and his two idiot friends are wearing costumes. In an office. Like, that's every single episode.
Benny? Thought I told you guys to get ready for Spider-Month.
Oh, we are, darling.
Yeah, we're ready to mock the hell out of those Sam Raimi movies.
Awesome, I think. Wait, I thought you guys loved the Raimi movies. I mean, I've made fun of them for years, but you two have always defended them. That's one of the reasons I brought you in, to get a different point of view.
Oh yeah, Doug, the master of getting a different point of view in his videos. They're very, very well balanced, just like when you reviewed Blade 2 or Event Horizon.
That's when we were children, darling. Little babies. Oh.
Yeah, we've grown a lot since then.
As you can tell by our grow-upping demeanor.
What's the
Oh,
joke?
really? So now you see them as silly movies.
Of course, darling. The Raimi films are ridiculous.
Laughably ridiculous.
That's so funny. I've been saying that for years, and everybody's been looking at me like I was crazy.
You are crazy. Yes, those films are ridiculous. They're supposed to be. It's a stylistic choice. Have you seen a Sam Raimi film?
They are awful. Simply the worst kind of awful.
Well, I don't know if I go that far.
Now that we have real Spider-Man movies,
As well as real comic book movies in general.
we've been enlightened with age, and now we see them for the shit that they really are.
Well, I wouldn't call them shit.
You three, Warrior, I'm late again. Very sorry. Nothing to apologize for. All you've missed is us watching two guys make slime and scream at each other.
What are you talking about? You've mocked them more than anyone, darling.
I know, but I guess I've always had a bit of a soft spot for them.
Gasp! Are you saying you actually like those baby movies?
Yes. I don't know.
Start the review.
Compared to the millions of other comic book movies we have now, they are kind of unique.
Looks like he's one of those man-children that can't let go of his happy memories.
Hey, there is good money to be made with that. I mean, I was telling you guys these movies were silly.
You obviously haven't matured like we have.
Come, dear.
Who are they making fun of?
Adults are.
Again, this is one of those. It's one of those incredibly weird things that happens on YouTube, where critics, in lieu of actually having a real joke, they'll just go, right, let's take a thing, an idea, and just pretend that that's people's thoughts. Let's pretend that this is a thing people are saying. Who is like this? Who are they making fun of?
Joke's on you, you're on the internet, a mental fountain of youth. Nobody grows up here! Am I really gonna end up defending these movies? There's an interesting...
I mean, Doug, you probably won't even express your opinion. You're probably just going to tell us a blow-by-blow account of what happens in the movie from beginning to end. Let's be honest, you don't even know how to do a review, and you've been at this for the better part of 2 decades.
backlash that's been going on with the Sam Raimi films as well as the Mark Webb films. In honor of Spider-Month, we're going to look at both of these series, but for now, let's start with the Sam Raimi movies. In the past, they were mostly well received, gaining praise from critics and audiences, and even hailed as trailblazing groundbreakers. With the release of even bigger fan favorites, though, like the MCU Spider-Man films and even the Oscar-winning Into the Spider...
Okay, let's be honest, who likes the MCU Spider-Man movies more than Spider-Man 2? Like, nobody does. Spider-Verse, that he's paused on there, that's an excellent film, and that most people will agree is the best Spider-Man movie. But I don't know anyone who likes the MCU Spider-Man movies more than at least the second Raimi movie. Like, let's be honest, Spider-Man 2 is one that's in most people's top 10, like, superhero films. And he's just acting like, oh, nobody likes these movies anymore. I'm like, that's not true. That's a thing you made up.
Spider-Verse, many are looking back at these and seeing them as, well, corny. It's a Norman Rockwell type of superhero, light, goofy, and living in a romanticized universe.
No playing in the streets.
Yes, Mr. Spider-Man.
Don't get me wrong, the first 2 Superman movies do the same thing, and they're hailed as some of the best comic book.
Because that's the point. That's the tone and aesthetic of the universe these movies take place in. Like, why are you acting like it's weird to make an optimistic, cheerful superhero movie? It's just a different way of doing things.
Films ever made. But how do I put this? If Superman is the murder in
Spider-Man 2 is still the greatest.
Spider-Man is the
Maybe. I don't know. I think it's Spider-Verse might just tip it out for me. But Spider-Man 2 is still wonderful.
after the prom of Norman Rockwell's work. The Supermans could get really intense, morally difficult, and epically powerful. Kids could watch them, but they were mostly for adults. The Spider-Mans were occasionally emotional, but leaned more towards non-threatening imagery and ideas. I still have no idea why this movie is PG-13. Was it this look? Cover your children's eyes! The Spider-Man comics...
You know exactly why it's PG-13. There's a scene where that character you've just shown on the screen gets impaled. You think that's PG appropriate?
Goofy too.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not really pro age certification on films. I don't really think it's up to cinemas to tell us what our kids can watch. But I still think it's for him to be like, "Why is this PG-13?" I'm like, you're just pulling shit out of the air, mate.
And shy away from dark choices and heavy themes. Treat it with as much seriousness as possible. These...
Are you in or are you out?
It's you who's out, Gobby. Out of your mind.
do seem to be more kid-focused, don't they? But with all that
yeah,
said,
kids' movies.
This is a very unique universe I don't see much in comic book movies. There's tons of films like Batman, there's tons of films like Iron Man, but with Spider-Man, nobody really talks like they talk here. Nobody really acts like how these characters act. Nobody lives in such a friendly yet odd environment. It's like if Pleasantville had pumpkin bombs, right down to Tobey Maguire's in both of them. But the question remains, does that make these good films or bad films?
Like you even have to ask, darling.
Who are these people? Who are you supposed to be? What are you mocking?
You know, I think I can handle this without you adults, so piss off!
Come, darling. Let us snort our way out of here.
The best way to figure this out is to look at all the films in order, beginning with the original Spider-Man. In production hell for years, Spider-Man was handed from creator to creator trying to bring it to the big screen, with one of the biggest names being James Cameron. But like most things he holds off on, he just kinda gave it to someone else. After proving he could make continuous good movies with a strange, dark edge to them, Sam Raimi was finally given the reins for the project, being a gigantic Spider-Man fan himself. Now keep in mind, comic book movies were mostly seen as box office poison at the time, so this was a bit of a risk. However, there was a holy trinity in the late 90s and early 2000s that changed people's minds. Blade, X-Men, and this. This very clearly was the biggest hit out of all of them, and many claim got the ball rolling for comic book movies to be the cinematic empire they are now. So this film is owed a lot of things. But as
Many people claim objective historic fact.
we asked before, does it still hold up 18 years after it came out? And can the people who grew up with it still find appreciation in its bizarreness? Well, I imagine that might be harder for some than others.
Forgive me for all the chats today. Sorry, but if I only like children's media and I'm 22, is there something wrong with me? Not at all. It's your taste, isn't it? If you're just not particularly keen on things that are aimed at an older audience, that's fine. And certainly don't apologize for all the chats.
After the opening credits to the Spider-Man video game, don't really tell me you couldn't see
Means
this
I can eat some of that there food.
We get a narration from Peter Parker, played with mild disinterest by Tobey Maguire.
Who am I? You sure you want to know? The story of my life is not for the faint of heart.
Let it be known the third line of this movie has faint of heart used unironically. If you're really surprised by anything awkward that follows, you...
I don't get what his problem is already with this. Just like, oh, they said this is like Ralph the movie maker when he was complaining about someone said, "You got a problem, asshole." I'm like, it's just an expression, like faint of heart. What's wrong with that? That's a thing people say. And then earlier on, he was saying about how, well, nobody talks the way they talk in this movie, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. And then the movie review starts. This guy's a faint of heart, which is not a thing I say in my vernacular, so therefore it's bad.
Can't say they didn't warn you. We see Parker chasing the school bus as it appears he's so geeky, even geeks won't let him sit next to them.
Don't even think about it.
God, it's like a POV cam from when I was in high school. I mean, let's look at my yearbook picture again.
I've seen your real yearbook picture, Doug. I think we all have, where you were a trilby.
Trip with a pretty fucking weird teacher, even as these movies go.
You were talking throughout that woman's entire presentation. What is going on? Let's go talk about how we listen. The next person who talks will fail this course. I kid you not.
Daniel, how many times have I told you students can't teach the class? Peter's best friend Harry, played by James Franco, is dropped off by his controlling father, Norman Osborn, played by Willem Dafoe, playing Christopher Walken.
Somebody there? Who is this?
I can't.
Why?
I started this.
I'll make a few calls.
How come I never see these two in the same room? Goblin
That was nothing like Christopher Walken you're reaching.
Moblin, this is the real villain alter ego story! I just don't know who's supposed to be the villain and who's supposed to be the normal one.
Your parents must be very proud.
I think he wants to adopt you.
They're taken to a lab where genetically designed super spiders, and yes, that is the scientific term.
Genetically designed super spiders.
We tried to name our species by what looks good on a B movie poster. As Peter continues to be picked on.
For the school paper.
I'd have watched that movie. I know he's trying to make fun of these guys, but that fake movie poster that they put up, I'd watch that film, definitely.
Well, that helps me. My article's on logs. Peter tries hitting on Mary Jane, played by Kirsten Dunst, asking if he can take her picture.
I need one with a student in it.
Don't make me look ugly.
That's impossible.
Simp.
Now, for a long time,
I saw someone simping in real life on Instagram today. It was pretty great. I don't know if anyone would find this amusing, but basically, this actress that is on my Instagram. I don't know if they're any good. Probably. Most people who have a good following online are, very, very gifted, as we learned from the video we just watched. Put up a picture, being like, a series of pictures. Like the thing was about how to make yourself appear thinner in pictures, and like everyone was just posting jokes in the comments that were all getting replied to. And then there's one guy. He wrote like, "Only a real man can handle your curves. You keep doing you, baby," or something like that, and got no response. And it took everything, all of my strength, not to just write simp in capitals with a space between each letter. I'd never seen like simping in real life before, only like heard about stories of from other people, but to sit and watch one happen myself, it was really fascinating.
What Mary Jane was about is she was just sort of written as nice. I think Dunst had the same issue because she looks like she has no idea what to do with this character aside from being nice. When I read more Spider-Man
nice.
comics, though, I found she's supposed to be more of an energized extrovert.
She's
kinda like
actually
Rogue
kind of
from
horrible
X-Men, or
and
Andrea Beaumont
manipulative.
from Mask of the Phantasm, or,
Have you
honestly,
seen the
Kirsten
films?
Dunst from Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. So she can clearly play this role of someone that has a tough life, but puts that energy into being super active and positive. Here, we got the tough life part down, but every scene it looks like she's praying, nay, pleading for direction about what her character is supposed to be, as she's running out of ways of just being nice.
Harry, relax. You'll think I'm a stupid little girl with a crush. I'd like a cheeseburger. No, I guess not. You are amazing. I'm in love with somebody else. I wanna act.
Somebody, please. There's only so long I can smile like a sitcom wife who's dead inside. While taking her picture, Peter gets bitten by an escaped spider.
This is just frustrating to watch. Again.
Subtle.
Meanwhile, at Oscorp, Norman is showing the military his new glider technology.
As we
Complete with Krang's body. But as Oscorp's other
as we
experiments
mentioned
that keep
earlier,
the
this is not a
military's
review.
interest.
This is
Performance enhancers.
this is a substitute for the movie. The amount of times I've been hit by copyright strikes, well, copyright claims more than strikes. I've had a couple of strikes throughout my years on YouTube, but mostly claims for doing things that are transformative. They are critical and take a movie. I don't do many movie reviews these days, but the rare occasion that I do one, I'm not giving a blow by blow of everything that happens. This, you can watch this instead of the movie. really, if you wanted to. I mean, you wouldn't get the same experience out of it, but he's giving you the cliff notes and showing you scenes of the film in
the rest
order.
of the movie. I want to see what an insane mouse looks like. Does it do cartwheels? Does it eat its own hand? Why watch these goofballs when we could be seeing this the whole time?
You are the syphilis to everything I've worked so hard for, you miserable poisonous sack of disease.
But Brain!
Shut it, bitch.
What was that?
Theory tells us.
Why was that there?
Successful human trials, or
Sorry, guys, have I got the brain tumor that David Boreanaz gets in Bones? Because I swear Pinky and the Brain just popped up and used bad language in the middle of this review. I'm worried. Riker AVD says, if there's time, you should watch Jim Sterling's Cuphead elitist video. Oh God, Jim Sterling. Oh, do we have to? I will, but oh God.
non-crazy rats, they're going to give funding to another company. Meanwhile, Peter makes it home to his Aunt May and Uncle Ben, feeling the effects of the spider bite.
You won't have a bite?
No thanks. Had a bite.
What's that all about?
Maybe our wallpaper's making him sick again. Why did we go at VeggieTales' funeral? Peter begins to transform, as that seems to be the pattern tonight, with Norman using himself as the human trial.
We'll have lost the contractor quest, and Oscorp will be dead. Get me the promochloroparazine.
We will perfect the ultimate mouthwash. Dick. He's exposed to all his farts from the lighthouse, causing him to go insane, killing his partner.
Oh, we could be watching the
Peter,
lighthouse.
through spider science, seems to wake up cool.
Do it.
Oh, creepy boy with his room window staring right at his high school crush. I think those hands were hairy and wet long before that spider ever bit him.
Masturbation joke.
Don't forget we're painting the kitchen right after school. Got it?
Don't start without me.
And don't start up with me.
I don't have a prayer to survive this film, do I?
No, dear.
At school, Peter discovers he has amazing abilities, and Mary Jane discovers she can't even have lunch without having to be rescued. Now, apparently this wasn't CGI, and it took 156 takes to finally get this right. But I don't know. If that were true, I think the reaction would be less this.
Wow.
And more this.
That was pure luck. I was not in control of that situation.
Oh God! Oh God! It's Rick and Morty.
Oh no! Girls, white goose spews out of him, and things get messy without him.
Doug, what year is it, and how old are you?
Having any control.
Kids, if you're gonna have children, they're the best kind to have.
Peter leaves school and discovers even more abilities on the rooftops. To those wondering if these hideous effects look good back then, Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers came out the exact same year. These effects were awful! But don't worry.
See, I felt that at the time. I remember saying as a kid, because I obviously was a kid when this came out, I was like, these special effects aren't very good. And somebody, I can't remember who, but a grown-up, might have been a parent, could have been a teacher. Somebody said, yes, it's supposed to look cartoonish. And I was like,
film goes on,
okay, and accepted it.
These effects were awful!
I was a child.
Peter tries summoning his web again, but can't seem to recreate it.
Fly! Shazam! Go, web, go!
Maybe if I think of banging Mary Jane. There we go! I like where he lands on the ad, similar to how a bug would land on a windshield, but the fun stops when he realizes he forgot to get home in time to paint the kitchen. Uncle Ben's drunk again. Oh.
Can Flash Thompson stomp over and
her,
punch Doug?
Why this awkward romantic scene
I'd like
across
that.
like two 6-year-olds acting in a school play?
You can just see what...
Doug, are you criticizing someone else's acting? Is that what's happening here? You glass house living motherfucker.
It's coming.
What for me?
You're gonna light up Broadway.
You're taller than you look.
I hunch.
Don't.
Honey, what are you doing?
I'm writing the Spider-Man movie.
Well, stop hunching over. You're gonna ruin your posture.
Just let me work. Great. I wrote that into the script.
Who cares? Nobody's gonna listen to the romance in Spider-Man. But whatever you want, as long as there's nice music.
I guess that's true. I'm gonna go back to helping George Lucas write the Star Wars prequels.
Hey! How many times have I told you not to track sand in the house? It's coarse, rough, and it gets everywhere!
Why are we doing jokes about Attack of the Clones? What is that? Aside from the fact these films were out around about the same time, what has that got to do with anything?
Peter.
Also, I like that he hasn't changed his costume or hairstyle for that character. He's like, Doug's stupid friends couldn't even be bothered to do a costume change. That's just the movie snob character he was playing earlier, except now he's the writer of the film he was criticizing.
Decides to look for ways to get money to buy a car to impress Mary Jane. He notices an ad for amateur wrestlers because the paper's printing Craigslist now. And he asks Uncle Ben if he can drop him off, saying he's gonna study at the library. Now we all know this scene. Uncle Ben says with great power, yada yada yada. Peter blows him off and he's gonna regret it. But honestly, I would have liked a little more friction between them as Peter kinda bites his head off out of nowhere. It's not like there was a falling out between them earlier on. He just kind of acts mean for the sake of acting mean.
I'll figure it out. Stop lecturing me, please.
I know I'm not your father.
Then stop pretending to be.
Or at least tell me where my father is.
Never. He knows what he did even if I forgot.
God damn you, Uncle Ben.
He goes to the wrestling ring. Wait, wrestling is real in this universe? Now I know this isn't reality. As he applies to fight. Hey, I thought Octavius wasn't in this.
Down the hall to the ramp. May God be with you.
Don't forget to try my pie. It's shit.
I like her. She's funny. And I really hope he mentions Bruce Campbell here, because Bruce Campbell is just such a funny guy. And he's extremely charismatic. You know, talking about how Doug, has no charisma. Not on this stream, we were talking about it in one of his films. Bruce Campbell pops up. There's one scene, and he's one of the most memorable parts of the film. Uncle Palpy says, Doug be like, I'm something of a hack screenwriter myself.
The announcer sends Peter into the ring to fight a wrestler named Bonesaw. And I'm not gonna lie, seeing Randy Savage, Bruce Campbell, and Octavia Spencer seconds apart in a wrestling ring kinda makes me think there's a god. Randomness like that has to be planned. Hey, it's how the internet reacted when they heard Maguire was cast in the role. Don't worry, a treasure trove of memes shall be thine reward.
Bonesaw's gonna eat you up and spit you out, little man. I'm gonna rip off any of your feet legs of yours off.
Actually, this is the most attention I've gotten from women, thank you.
I was going to say, this is I'm quite certain I have quite a few fetishes because of this movie.
Yo, you're going nowhere. I got your first.
Not about the girls, I mean about Bonesaw.
3 minutes of bleed time.
Can I bring up it's been over 9 years since he passed and I still miss the shit out of this guy?
Snap into a Spider-Man!
After honestly a really great action sequence, probably my favorite in the movie, which is a weird problem, but we'll get to that. Peter doesn't get all his money because he defeated him too early.
I need that money.
I missed the part where that's my problem.
Ooh, another possible reason this was PG-13.
Avert your eyes! It's as much skin as the Little Mermaid shows!
The manager gets mugged though, running past Peter, who gets out of his way.
Thanks.
What the hell's the matter with you? You let him go.
Well, as a security guard, we always advise kids to stop armed men. Idiot.
You could have taken that guy apart.
I missed the part where that's my problem.
Peter discovers though that Uncle Ben's car has been stolen and he was shot in the process.
Uncle Ben?
Oh my god, you've been shot. I missed the part where that's my problem.
Finish painting the kitchen.
Uncle Ben dies, unleashing his spider rage.
I gotta say, Uncle Ben saying Peter does kind of sound like Joe from Family Guy.
Let's see, what'd he tell me again? I wasn't listening. With great power comes great vengeance. Lots of vengeance. Good advice, Uncle Ben! So the effects here are pretty hit and miss, with sometimes them looking pretty smooth and other times looking like the 90s cartoon with 5 pairs of sunglasses on.
That's the point. They're meant to remind you of the 90s cartoon. It's called homage.
The funny thing is, a lot of this sequence is hard to see, but the part you're supposed to not see, the carjacker's face, is clearly shown in a number of different shots. Oh my god, it's you! I only had 12 opportunities to notice that! Thank God for that flashback. Who has time to remember minutes ago? You know what I love about heroes that don't kill? Bad guys always conveniently trip to their deaths around them.
I had a partner, by the way, and I'm important.
Can you believe about Uncle Ben? I know, Aunt May, he's dead. No, I meant we're out of Uncle Ben rice. Where's my husband? Meanwhile, a nearby base is testing their vibrator grasshopper when Norman crashes the party.
Can you
That seems
start
how a
reviewing the
general would
film,
react.
please?
No duck and cover or locate any weapons. Just tell my wife I died, not screaming like my wife. Cut to everybody graduating as Norman seems to be happier for Peter.
It's a
than
great
he is for his
transition.
own
I'm just
son.
going to say it. I love that transition with the debris
Excuse me, I
and
have a tumor
the
to
mortar
fill with
boards
this pent-up aggression.
being thrown into the air. It's a really good transition.
That makes you family.
You're like a brother I wish my son had, minus my son. Spontaneously cut to Peter crying. Trust me, you'll get used to that. As he admits he was thinking about Uncle Ben. Get used to that too.
You were meant for great things. You won't disappoint him.
Unless you give a really weak entrance by awkwardly walking by papers, barely showing your mask when you had an epic World Trade Center intro from the teaser ready to go. Yeah, Batman shows his wings, Superman flies, Spider-Man judges you like you ate his McGriddle.
Spider epic!
Okay, this is
the
epic.
scene from the teaser was clearly meant to start this montage off, but it was cut due to 9/11. They have a second of it in there, but it's played so fast without the original build-up that if you blink, you miss it. It's super weak, allowing us to focus on how kind of weird a lot of these New Yorkers are. Even by New Yorker standards.
He stinks, and I don't like him. Some kind of freaky Lou or something. Wackadoo.
Wackadoo, taking yous and the thirst bucket to the stoop to get the pie.
Get a load in there.
I'm sorry, Doug, what? What is the joke?
What, were Kim Possible and Ron Stoppable robbing a place?
Guy with 8 hands. Sounds hot.
I am 100% digging this Xena reboot. The blonde looks great.
He has those tights and that tight little...
Whoa, watch it. This is a PG-13. You can't say backside.
Excuse me, darling, but it seems like you find this movie rather ridiculous.
Well, yeah, I never said it wasn't, but I am still
Oh, good.
invested.
Good, I missed his friends doing the snob voices. I really did. I'm so glad they've come back.
Enough?
Oh yeah, that's a...
I'm glad that we're taking a break because this 41-minute movie review was just going at such fucking breakneck speed when you need to take a little pause, little philosophical pause to incorporate his cunt friends.
For the movie Spider-Man, I was invested enough.
You know, you're making my job of praising a movie I said was overpraised very difficult.
Well, that's what happens when you're a grown-up.
I will prove to you there is something beneficial here for adults.
You do that while we continue being adults.
Come, darling, let's use our free time discussing how there's no free time.
Oh, that's very adult.
Rather.
People need to die younger.
Yeah. Yeah, Doug, they do. Otherwise you'll be in your 40s making content like this.
Hey, you can see us at Midwest Gaming Classic in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Also, don't forget to
No,
check
you
us out on
can't.
Twitch, Monday through Saturday. Playing a lot
I
of
shouldn't
games,
laugh.
telling a
That's
lot
really
of jokes,
horrible.
and having a lot of fun. Hope to
Just,
see you there.
hey guys, come and see us at this convention in April 2020.
So the one over-the-top element everyone can seem to get behind.
Or
in these
leave your
movies
house
is
at all in
J.K.
April
Simmons as
2020.
J. Jonas Jameson. He's the fast-talking head of the Daily Bugle, and despite him really having no reason to hate Spider-Man, he does it so well, I don't think anybody cares.
Tomorrow morning, Spider-Man, page 1 with a decent picture this time. Move Conway to page 7.
This problem at page 7.
And make it page 8 and give him 10% off. And make it 5%.
That can't be done.
Get out of here!
How's this for a story? Kids today don't even know what newspapers are! Peter bumps into Mary Jane and discovers she's dating Harry. But Harry hasn't brought this up to Peter.
Again,
despite
what's
them
the problem?
living-
This film came out like 20 years ago. Yeah, newspapers were fairly normal then. And again, it's deliberately given an old-timey sort of vibe anyway. Like in the second movie, you've got the scene at the bank where he's throwing massive like bags of gold coins. You know, it's meant to have a sort of golden age kind of quality to it. So there's really no issue with the whole newspaper thing. I don't know. I don't get why he would be concerned that kids don't know what newspapers are. That seems like a strange thing to say.
Together.
Hey, Pete, you're probably looking for a job. Dad, maybe you can help him out.
Oh.
No, I appreciate it.
Peter discovers he could get a job taking pictures of Spider-Man, so he sets up cameras, hoping a crime will conveniently happen in front of them. So, you're Spider-Man.
Okay, that was funny. You know what, Doug? That was good. You can have that one.
Peter takes the check to Betty, played by Elizabeth Banks, who welcomes him to the Daily Bugle.
Welcome to the Daily Bugle.
Thank you.
My wig has a good feeling about you, but it's also advised me to direct Charlie's Angels. At Oscorp, Norman seems to be top of the world.
Also, since Doug hasn't mentioned it, I love Ted Raimi as well in these movies.
Norman tries
Obviously,
getting
the
revenge at
director's
a raise
brother.
awareness
It's
for
one of
the
those really
Balloon Effect
goofy
Festival,
actors that just always
2002's
plays a
most
similar
2002
kind of
performer.
similar kind of character in everything he does, but he's just particularly funny as a foil for J.K. Simmons. There's something beneficial here for the adults, yeah, and it's not you. Yeah, basically.
Macy Gray.
Why didn't you wear the black dress? I wanted to impress my father. He loves black.
Well, maybe he'll be impressed no matter what.
Twitter's gonna freak if they see you wearing that. James Franco's audition to play Tommy Wiseau in 3, 2.
Oh, hi, Mr. Vargas.
That was almost a good joke, Doug. And had you released this review in 2017, not 3 years after he played Tommy Wiseau, that joke might have landed.
To the world as the Green Goblin, and it's just as dumb looking as you remember it.
Hello, my dear.
Now, I'm not going to pretend this is an easy character to bring into a three-dimensional world, but look at these other concepts. When you see what we could have gotten, it hits you even more how Pez dispensary he looks.
Yeah, I never liked the Green Goblin design, but I don't think it's a big deal. I just never. I never really
not
liked
in the way I think the movie intends. This action sequence, after not having watched it for years, is one of the craziest goddamn things I've ever seen. Just look at this as an adult, with the weird imagery, shitty effects, and over-the-top acting, and tell me this isn't a drunken Power Ranger battle. Everything about it is totally insane. Look at this kid.
Yes,
Did he get
deliberately
high
so.
before coming there? What kind of expression is that? Why doesn't his mom just grab him? He's right there. Is that balloon moving backwards?
Doug, are you really wanting realism in a crazy, over-the-top, stylized comic book movie? Again, it's Sam Raimi. His films are wild. His films are positively deranged.
Why does this girl act like she's in a Mentos commercial?
It's Spider-Man!
Because she's an extra, not an actress.
The Fresh Maker.
Impressive! What, talking without your lips moving? That fucker's dead. Jesus, that looks awful. Did we even get a shot of Spider-Man standing up, seeing the Goblin coming towards him? We just cut to him running like a stunt show. Did they fast forward Mary Jane? What are they doing? Jesus, that looks awful. What? Did he just pull it?
I'll get you next time, Gadget.
Is that a dummy or did he die in midair? Why was it hard to get a person in a spider suit to hold her?
Don't mind us, she just needs to use the elevator.
Huh? So as you can see, this entire action sequence is completely nuts. But because of that, it's kind of amazing. I give it 3.5 little WTFs. Yay. Norman begins realizing he may have a split personality. At least that's what the voice in his head is telling him. This is scene chewing at its yummiest.
So many
really like Willem Dafoe as an actor.
All for you.
I really hope everyone in the chat has seen The Lighthouse.
I'm
by the
beginning
way.
to think you
should
hate
if you haven't.
glass more than Spider-Man. Is this like your #1 fear?
Bringing you what you've always wanted. There's only one who can stop us.
That moment you realize he was actually underperforming when he played Nosferatu. Norman goes to the Daily Bugle to find Spider-Man's photographer.
Imagine thinking the character is named
Chalk that up to
Nosferatu.
another reason this would
But
PG-13.
also that he was playing Count Orlok and not Max Schreck in that film.
Who's the photographer who takes the pictures of Spider-Man? I don't know who he is. His stuff comes in the mail. You're lying! I swear.
So Jameson's willing to put his life on the line for Parker? That's like Bluto sticking his neck out for Popeye. It's possible, but you gotta explain it.
Doug, you don't have to explain everything, okay? In films, what would be the point? And also, how is that like Bluto sticking his neck out for Popeye? Bluto and Popeye are basically enemies. Peter Parker works for Jameson, and you know he doesn't particularly like him, but he gives him really good photos to use in his paper. Like, also, he's not he's mean, but he's not a bad guy. He wouldn't just sell him out. Like, it's a nice little moment for his character where you go, oh, you know, he's you know, when the chips are down, he's a good person. Like, it's just a nice little moment. Why do you have an objection to it? It's weird.
Spider-Man appears, but Goblin has a way to knock him out. Oh, I do hope it's a silly way. I love it when it hits you that the main villain of your movie just made a Humphrey the Bear sound effect. Goblin paralyzes Spider-Man and offers him a chance to join Goblin in being crazy.
You and I are not so different.
I'm not like you.
Eventually, they will hate you. Why bother?
Because it's right.
And other cliche lines from the 40s. Why doesn't he take his mask off? I mean, he tells him to think about his offer, but why doesn't he just take Spider-Man's mask off to see who he is?
I could take your mask off right now.
I know, but don't.
But I want to.
I don't want you to.
But I could.
But you won't.
Why?
Chicken thigh.
Well, I guess you got me there.
After that, we get, another scene where
Is
Peter
it
and Mary just...
super important? He's got Spider-Man now. He's made him an offer. Is it really important he takes his mask off? Like, I get why he might, but does it really make that much of a difference, Doug? Or are you nitpicking?
Let's talk. I do hope it feels more like status updates than actual conversation.
How's it going, Ruth?
Why so interested?
I'm not.
You're not?
Well, why would I be?
I don't know. Why would you be?
I don't know.
What the hell are you even talking about?
I'm not.
You're not?
Well, why would I be?
Why would you be?
You're so beautiful.
It's only because I'm so in love.
No, it's because I'm so in love.
Get it?
with you.
Spider-Man is like the Star Wars prequels, even though
This time
it
from
isn't
Kissy Faces.
at all.
Ooh! I saw a hoodlum do that in West Side Story. And I've never seen anyone do that. But Peter changes into Spider-Man to save her.
You have a knack for saving my life. I think I have a superhero stalker.
Who talks like that?
The dialogue is stylized. Like everything else. The costumes, the direction, the performances. It's a stylized movie. Because it's directed by Sam Raimi. Perhaps if you were to learn anything about films other than the 5 movies you must actually like, not every movie has to be realistic and play out like real life, Doug. That's not entertaining. What is your problem? Man, these people don't talk like real life, but they're speaking in a way that's consistent with the overall tone of the movie. That's bad. Phantom. By the way, Doug's review of this came out after it was trending back-to-back screen... What? Sorry. By the way, Doug's review of this came out after it was a trending back-to-back screen grab regarding Jameson's protection of Parker and Joker's "people show you who they truly are" comment. Oh, yes, I think I remember that that image, actually. I'd forgotten all about it, but now that you brought it up, yeah.
You know, Peter, she doesn't know you're Spider-Man. There's no red flags that she's cheating on her boyfriend with a pajamaed criminal while also kind of playing the field with you. This is why all you got was a hug in Spider-Man 3. The next day, we continue our pattern of parents who are awful as a mother leaves her baby in a burning building. Yep, Spider-Man's gonna die in a burning building with a baby. This movie suddenly got super dark on a whim. Well, that was suspenseful. They hear another woman screaming inside, only to discover it's the Goblin. What?
His favourite movie is supposed to be Brazil. I really like Brazil, and I'm surprised that that's Doug's favourite movie because that film is extremely stylized and weird, and nobody talks like they do in real life. Brazil is far weirder than this.
My generous proposal. Are you in or are you out?
It's you who's out, Gobby. Out of your mind.
That line's like a pendulum. The more it repeats, the more you die a little.
It's literally better than anything you've ever written, Doug.
They fight in the fire with Spider-Man getting his arm injured, but
I love cheesy one-liners though. Like, I'm kind of biased because I I can't write lines like that. I like my dialogue is again, it's often a little on the stylized side, but I tend to go for a more realistic style. I wish I could write good one-liners. I mean, you know, the out of your mind one-liner isn't good in the same way that like a Schwarzenegger line is good, but it's good in the sense that it fits this sort of, again, golden age kind of a tone that the film has.
Both of them flee just in time for turkey. Yeah, I'm tired of nobody putting this on their favorite Thanksgiving specials.
Norman, will you do the honors?
Spider-Man, where even sampling sweet potatoes is somehow made weird. Norman notices Peter's wound and immediately
Again, I know I'm repeating myself at this point, but it's like, yes, Doug, a Sam Raimi movie is weird. What a surprise.
out he's Spider-Man.
Can't wait till till this guy finds out about surrealism.
Shocking, he kept it a secret so well.
Something has come to my attention.
And just when you think this movie can't be any more... What?
What do I do?
Instruct him in the matters of loss.
But how?
The cunning warrior attacks neither body nor mind.
I just recently saw David Lynch interrogate a monkey. This is weirder.
It isn't. Although, now, Doug, there's a weird part of me that is curious to know what you thought of What Did Jack Do?
Can you imagine somebody walking in on the...
Incidentally, I loved it, but I'd like to know what Doug thought of it.
A supposed intimidating scene and not laughing their ass off.
Hey, Rob, I wanted to get your input on...
What must I do?
Nope, I have to look again.
God, get off the screen. Thank you.
Do believe it or not. An even crazier ass scene when he crashes in on a praying Aunt May.
Finish it! Finish it!
Oh my god! You can't see anything like this in another comic book movie. It is so...
Therefore it's bad?
Precisely odd. I want to see him do this for other things that people should wrap up. Beelzebub has a devil put aside for me.
Finish it!
For me!
Finish it!
For me!
Doug, don't sing. You've been told. You've been asked, you know?
She's sent to the hospital where... Oh, yes! Peter and Mary Jane remain perfectly still in one spot talking again. You know, there's other romantic things you can do. Go to the fair, walk on the beach, not say things in such a creepy-ass manner.
You feel excited, and at the same time, terrified.
Call the police.
Harry sees Mary Jane flirting with Peter, though, and goes to tell his daddy.
I haven't always
What do you think of the movie, Doug?
somewhere, but I gotta make it up to you.
Is it good or not?
I'm going to rectify certain...
Look at his name. Critic. Nostalgia
Good to have you
Critic.
back, Dad. This wasn't cryptic
Half an hour in. I don't know what he thinks.
at all.
Wake up.
Eek. Peter wakes up from his terrifying dream as it seems Aunt May is doing better.
You do too much. You're not Superman, you know.
Well, I'd have to get a lot better at breaking necks.
You know, you were about 6 years old when MJ's family moved in. You grabbed me and said, Aunt May? Aunt May? Is that an angel?
I really don't like how many parallels this has to the prequels.
It has literally none. Doug, you made them up. Like a child thinking a beautiful girl is an angel is probably the only thing in the entire film where you can go, oh, this is like that bit in episode 1. That's it. The rest of him, you've absolutely pulled out of your ass.
Aunt May says everyone knows he's in love with Mary Jane, which gets him thinking he should give her a call.
Hi. Hey, MJ.
I need to know if you're an angel.
Hello?
MJ, you're finally laughing at my jokes. It looks like the goblin has kidnapped Mary Jane as well as a car full of kids. You can tell they were saving the really good effects for the climax here. Same year as Gollum!
This is why.
It's not supposed to look realistic, Doug. Don't you know what the word stylized means? You're a movie critic.
Only fools are heroes.
You fucking normie.
Spider-Man shows up as Goblin forces him to choose between Mary Jane or the children. Now, anyone who knows the comics knows this is a send-up to when the Green Goblin killed Gwen Stacy on the Brooklyn Bridge. One of the most shocking deaths in comic book history. But here, we're just gonna do the Batman Forever thing. Cause you know, if you're gonna steal from Batman, might as well be the best one. It's not that they don't kill Mary Jane. I honestly don't think that would have worked here. It's that there's no point in doing it like this if you're not gonna deliver the goods. It'd be like telling the story of Jesus.
So frustrating to watch.
Gets to the trial, and then he's found innocent and goes home. There's kind of some big epic stuff you're leaving out.
No, it's not a bit, but this isn't a retelling though, Doug. That parallel doesn't work. That analogy doesn't work. Because if somebody was telling the story of Jesus and deliberately missed something out, that would entirely fuck up the entire thing. This, on the other hand, is visual homage. That's it. That's all it is. So, in your mind, then, we'll continue with the Jesus analogy. In your mind, that scene in Bride of Frankenstein, where the monster gets sort of lifted up and he looks like he's been crucified. I don't know what Gemma's trying to show me something here. Oh, Doug's 20 favourite films in order. Apparently, there are some good movies in here, but there's a lot of like stuff you would expect. You know what I mean? Like quote-unquote film critic movies in here, like The Dark Knight. What else? You know, there's a lot of movies in here I like. Eyes Wide Shut I really like. It's in here. And Lost in Translation. And Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Clockwork Orange. But you know what I mean? There's nothing that really like blows you away and you think, wow, yeah, I can see, well, that's a really special movie.
His favorite movie is Brazil.
Yeah, somebody said that in the chat earlier. But yes. So he's saying that this moment, you know, it's, oh, you've missed something because you've ruined the story. But it's a visual homage. So to go back to his Jesus analogy. In Bride of Frankenstein, when the monster is effectively crucified, visually very representative of Christ. But then the story plays out completely differently. And he goes and makes friends with a blind man in the woods and demands a mate and becomes, you know, an assistant to a mad scientist and then gets blown up. You'd be like, well, that's really misrepresenting the story of Jesus. No, you wouldn't make that argument, Doug, because it's literally just visual homage because it's a comic book movie based on Spider-Man, and Sam Raimi went, wouldn't it be cool if we did this iconic moment from Spider-Man, like as a little visual reference for the fans at home? That's all it was, Doug. And you bring this weird fucking Jesus analogy into it. Like, do you think about your arguments before you make them, or do you just talk? Do you just like to hear yourself talk and then go, oh, that's a review? That's me just talking about a movie I've just watched and saying nothing of any value.
And this was made right after 9/11.
Leave Spider-Man alone! You got a pick on a guy trying to save a bunch of...
You three warrior, hi Gemma.
You mess with New York! You mess with one of us, you mess with all of us!
God bless you, your heart's in the right place.
Really? Fuck you, Doug. You're going to complain about this incredibly sweet thing that just happened in the movie. Like you said, it was made just after 9/11 as well. So they have this really, like, again, in universe, it makes sense for it to be over the top and cheesy because that's the style of the film. Again, we've discussed this already, Doug. It's stylized this way. It's designed this way. And you have this very sweet, heartwarming moment. And, you know, New Yorkers are typically presented, and because a lot of them are, as being cunts. And you've got this lovely moment where everyone's being kind of, you know, there's camaraderie and everyone's working together. And you're going to make fun of it because you're a prick.
Spider-Man saves Mary Jane and the kids, but the Goblin grabs him and takes him to, honestly, the second best fight in the movie. Again, I think that's because there's not a lot of half-ass CGI, and it feels more gritty and grounded. It's even one of the few times the Goblin's mask looks pretty cool. As you can see, Defoe's much scarier teeth inside the fake teeth, giving it a nice creepy vibe. As you'd imagine, Spider-Man finds his strength and ends up beating the Goblin, just as he reveals his identity.
Give me your hand. I've been like a father to you.
You know, a father that tries to kill everything you know and love. A Hollywood father.
I
have a father. His name was Ben Parker.
Yeah, and I'm Ray Skywalker. We really are who we choose to be, aren't we?
Sorry, what's your objection to that line?
Goblins, as he makes one last request to Peter.
When you go, why is this a PG-13 movie earlier and you're watching a guy die bleeding out of the mouth? Make that joke, make that remark. Why is this a PG-13 movie? No, you won't, because it doesn't make sense now.
Harry.
Well, I guess you did try to kill my girlfriend and Aunt May and me. You know, fuck you, I'm telling Harry. No, I guess he keeps his dumb scouts on her and returns north.
It's not, oh my god, Doug, you are too autistic to live. Like, that's not why he doesn't tell him.
Norman home where Harry finds it.
I'm so sorry, Harry.
Doesn't tell him because Harry's his best friend and it would fucking destroy him.
I swear on my father's grave, Spider-Man will pay.
You know, the word on the street is the X-Men did this. That Dazzler's a real psycho. Well, here we are at the funeral of our best friend's father. Want to go out?
There's something I've been wanting to tell you. When I was up there was only one person who I was thinking of.
The person I've stood still and talked 5 times having the most boring of conversations with! It's love! Dull, monotonous love!
Yes, Doug, whereas your films are full of very energetic, fun dialogue. Not boring at all.
I love you so much, Peter.
But Peter, in order to keep her safe, turns down her advances. Because that's totally how it's always gonna be, guys.
I will always be your friend.
Only your friend?
That's all I have to give. Whatever life holds in store for me, I will never forget these words.
Bros before hoes.
With great power comes great responsibility.
He swings towards an amazingly convincing American flag that totally wasn't put in at the last minute. And that's the end of Spider-Man.
It certainly is.
So, critic, with all
Great. And there's almost 10 minutes left.
the jokes and mockery you made of this movie, has anything changed for you since you last saw it?
Yeah, but it hasn't just changed for me, it's changed for you too.
Oh yeah? What's that?
Comic book movies. You see, back then there weren't that many, and I was waiting for the equivalent of The Dark Knight to come out, something that took comic book films super seriously. Instead, I got this, something...
Why were you waiting for something like The Dark Knight when it's Spider-Man? Spider-Man is, by its nature... I mean, I know there have been different writers over the years and everything, and it's had, you know, dark and serious stories. It's had light-hearted ones, but typically... Yeah, it's Spider-Man. I read Spider-Man comics as a kid. I used to like the Spectacular Spider-Man comics as a kid. And Ultimate Spider-Man occasionally, although I preferred Spectacular. And yeah, it had darkness in it, but it was colourful and full of one-liners. And why were you not expecting that from Spider-Man?
Silly, over the top, and mostly innocent. So I always kind of resented it, thinking we could get a much more serious Spider-Man.
Noah Antweiler knows love better than Doug. Good lord.
But now that we have films like The Dark Knight and even more serious Spider-Man movies, I can finally enjoy how one-of-a-kind this series is.
But it's so ridiculous!
Yeah, everything in it is so campy and goofball.
But that's part of the fun.
Are you gonna now, even though you acted like it wasn't, are you gonna acknowledge that the film is designed to be goofy?
Its cons are also its pros. If you don't take it that seriously and just embrace the hilariously sugar-coated world, it is kind of fun. It's paced well, it's a decently laid out origin story, and its angles and imagery are very old-school comic book. I know it takes liberties, but if you compare it to the liberties other comic book movies took at the time, this one actually stayed closer than others. And yes, this was the movie that arguably made the biggest impact in getting comic book films going again. And for that to be an innocent, gentle cornball flick instead of an extreme, dark, hardcore bloodfest, it's actually rather impressive. It's funny, a lot of younger people that grew up with this find themselves disliking it as they get older.
No. That's a thing you made up. These films are still held in very high regard. Especially the first two.
Since I watched it with a more cynical mind and the cinematic environment around me has changed, I actually find myself enjoying it. If I focus on the passion and creativity rather than the details. I think this movie's gonna have a different reaction with different ages at different times. And you know what? If it broadens your point of view, that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Well, there it
Not
is.
an argument.
Yes, is.
So, do we like this movie or not?
Well, I guess the little kid in me is always going to like it, and the adult in me is always going to find problems with it, darling.
And the good news is, there's nothing wrong with that. Whatever you feel towards a movie is okay to feel.
Ah, shut up, you self-righteous, sanctimonious prick.
Well, I guess we were trying to grow up a bit too fast.
Come on, Benny, let's put on our Spider-Man pajamas and watch the Raimi films again.
With alcohol.
Oh yeah, of course with alcohol. We have to enjoy some perks of adulthood. There's nothing even in these goddamn things.
I'm the nostalgia critic, and whether sober or plastered, Spider Month is just beginning!
I'd like a cheeseburger.
That really sucked. I mean, I don't know what I was expecting. I can't be like him saying I was expecting The Dark Knight from Spider-Man. I obviously was expecting garbage. That's why I put it on. But yeah, well, let's find out what he has to say. If he's going to talk about appearing at conventions in April, it's going to be very funny again.
Shout out, and we just got back from a convention, and as you probably
The last convention I'll ever attend.
know, every time we get back from a convention, we take the money we make from taking pictures, and we give it to a charity that has worked with us in the past, and this week we're doing Build at buildchicago.org, and if you like to know what they're all about, here is a little snippet from the video that we did with them, the What You Can Do series that we've done before. They do fantastic work. Take a look.
Okay, so I'm not going to make fun of this because just talking about a charity. That's fine. Totally respect that. Although I will say, you'll never catch me charging people for photographs. Granted, I'm not a celebrity, but even if I was, I wouldn't charge people for photographs. Now, somebody wanted me to do a Jim Sterling. Was it Cuphead Elitists, wasn't it? I've spelt that wrong. Elitists. No, I have spelled it correctly. I'm just being weird. Oh, God, that looks bad. Oh, that looks really... Oh, it's only 5 minutes, though, and somebody did pay for it, so let's be respectful and do the video they asked for. Right. Oh, apparently I've seen it, because I've disliked it. This doesn't look familiar, though. Gemma, did you watch a video called The Cuphead Elitists on my account?
No.
Wasn't Gemma? Right. I wonder if I left a comment. No. Okay. No, I didn't leave a comment. All right. I don't know. I'll put it on because somebody's paid for it, and I'll see. I'll see if I recognize anything. Let's have a look at this. Blah blah. Stoop de scoop de bloop. It's weird how Jim Sterling is calling anyone else a weird smug creep, isn't it? That doesn't seem to work.
This is a real hardcore game.
Please kill me. Immediately. My hatred for Jim supersedes your comedy, Jacob, so take my money. I'm a head out. Oh, I can't convince you to stay, Phantom. I probably won't be watching Jim for much longer because that's awful. Everything, the green screen, the costume, the voice, I hate it. I hate it.
Just like the old run and gun games for the Super Nintendo were. It is where it belongs. It has to be that hard! The adding easy mode will destroy the prestige and niche this game has. It's a game that's supposed to be hard. Same as Dark Souls.
Good lord.
Millennials, these.
That's enough. I'm sorry, my guy. I know you paid for me to watch this video. I can't. I can't do it. What do you want me to say? He's... All I can do is call him a hypocrite. I can call him talentless and annoying and call him a hypocrite because right at the beginning he made a joke about other people being smug and then he does this, which is the single smuggest thing I've ever seen. Look at this prick. Insufferable, pasty, white version of... oh god, what's his name? Cenk Uygur. That's who he reminds me of. Goodness. I don't remember ever watching this, but I have disliked it before, so I must have blocked it out of my memory. It must have been that traumatic for me when I watched it last time. Good lord. Has anyone got any other suggestions? This is what I let Logan on my computer just Lego boat playlist. Will it float on water? Good lord, get that shit off there. Lego Worlds all vehicle codes. Watch your own stream. Should we do that? Like, would that... Let's do that for a bit. Oh, that's weird. I don't like that. Oh, that's my voice. I'm doubling up my own voice. This is what I let Logan on my computer just... Oh, I don't like that. I would have to at least stop the doubling up of my voice thing there. That's bizarre. That's really bizarre. Look at that delay as well. It's quite a big delay. I haven't even crossed over to my own stream. This is where it's going to fuck it up. This is where it's going to become profoundly weird. Oh, yeah, it's just gonna... We're gonna start heading into the shadow realm fairly soon, guys. Uncle Palpy says, I hope that you shame Matt the next time you see him for liking that sort of content. Shame him I will. Jim Sterling is awful. Oh, this is bizarre. Why did I agree to this? This is bizarre. I'm gonna let it do it again a couple of times. It's not that bad to look at, actually. It's not as, like, disorienting as I thought it would be. If I move the camera up and down a few times, I don't know. Just going to play around with it a bit. See if that does anything. Probably not. Interesting, yeah, the little delay here as well. I like that. So I'm just having fun with this now. No, that doesn't. That just pops it all there. Look. He broke those cups, and for what? Children of the Atom. Oh, I think I should. Don't you think I should? I think I should. It is off of YouTube though. It's something non-YouTubey. But that's okay. Coming in April. Children of the Atom #1. Marvel. Let's go. Really don't like the art style already. Further details remain a mystery. Is that it? Is that all we're getting? Give me more. Give me more information. How about some crappy life hacks? All right, let's do that. Since you paid, my good man, let's look at some life hack videos. You know what? I know exactly where to go for life hacks too. Oh, let's get crack-a-lacking, my friends.
Careful over there. Clothespins are attacking.
Okay, so I feel like I should intro Troom a bit, like just in case you don't know this channel. And somehow you probably do. It's got 17.5 million subscribers. This video has been out a mere 2 months and has 1.5 million views. These guys are absolutely enormous, and it is truly awful.
Oh, I'm glad I'm not watching.
My friend took my curler at the worst possible moment.
I hate the way it's filmed. I know it's stupid to care about this, but it looks like it's filmed in like 60 frames per second, which just always looks like shit.
Megan! And what about my hairstyle? Well, thanks a lot. How do I make curls now?
Why did she scream the name Megan when the girl she's dubbing opened her mouth for like a single syllable name? You know? She could have been called May.
A hairdryer
That would have been fine.
clothespins. Let's try it. Wrap strands of hair around clothespins like around hair curlers
Excuse me?
and blow dry them.
This would never work. Mew3 Warrior, make sure your rent is paid.
Remove the clothespins. Whoa, it worked. Bouncy curls without a curling iron.
Absolutely, absolutely ridiculous.
Megan decided to make a new dream catcher, but her threads
I'm going to open this in a new tab because I want to see.
I
want to see what the
awake
comments
yet.
have to say.
Everything in her craft box is all mixed up, but the universe sent her Christy and some clothespins to help out.
Are any of these scenarios
Beginning
going to
of the thread
happen?
with a clothespin. Wrap threads around the clothespins and secure the end.
Yeah, I didn't even hear, like, I'm so used to the word peg, I just heard her saying peg, even though she's saying pin. Yeah, clothespin, that is weird.
It won't get undone. Put the threads on clothespins into a box.
Yeah, they're called pegs.
Now they will never get tangled again, and you can do your crafts without any trouble. It's my mom's birthday today, and the best gift is one you made yourself.
What was the point in that one? Like, I've got some string, I'll put it around these pegs. Oh, sorry, clothespins. For what purpose?
Cut different sloth bodies out of different shades of cardboard. Add fur and a face using acrylic paint. Attach decorative clothespins instead of paws.
How is this a life hack? This is just crafts. This is... I know it's hacks and crafts, but like... It's...
Our sloths turned out so cute, just like us. Oh, Mom's coming. Let's hide so we can finish our gift.
I've never really understood react to Mundane Matt. That's a good idea. Thank you. Oh god, your name is... It looks like your name is Milady. I hate that I have to say that. Like, the tone of these videos is fucking weird. The colours, the weird high frame rate, the shouting narrator, who clearly is a native English speaker and yet sounds like... Oh god, it's Collins Key again! Get the fuck away! I'm gonna get recommendations for those wankers now, aren't I? Because of the stream. So many fucking Collins. It's enough. My recommendation is just nothing but Collins Key. Fuck's sake.
But I guess I know what's waiting for me.
Do you know what I mean? This is like a dream. Like, why is it like this?
Come on, we need to sign the card.
What YouTube video has this mood?
But all the brushes, pens, and feathers are in the
Is this why this is so popular? Not because the content's good, but just because it's sort of morbidly fascinating.
room. At least we have a clothespin. It will come in handy.
I feel like this is made by aliens with like hidden messages in it. And maybe I missed this episode of Black Mirror, but like where they made YouTube videos that were actually a form of mind control.
Drawing ink into a container.
Because this doesn't feel like a human made this.
Dip a clothespin into it and carefully write letters on paper by using the different edges of the clothespin. Decorate the message with patterns. Wait for the ink to dry.
Even someone said this is like "Don't hug me, I'm scared." Even "Don't hug me, I'm scared" like doesn't have this weird fucking like overly fast speed to it. Like it's shot properly.
Attach it to the present using the same clothespin.
You can block channels from appearing in your recommended. Is it possible to learn this power?
Our gift is ready. We can congratulate our mom. Happy birthday, Mommy! Aw, how cute! Thanks! What a nice message. What's inside? My 2 favorite sloths. They look a lot like you. Thanks, my sweethearts. These adorable sloths will live right here.
Is that supposed to be their mum? Again, they're the same age. Is that... Everything about this is fucking weird.
The girls haven't cleaned for a long time. They had no idea that some guests would come to visit.
The door was open. Look. Like, the door was ajar. They had no idea guests were coming.
They had no idea that some...
And she made her way to the door before the doorbell rang. It's just little weird things. I know I sound like I'm nitpicking, but this is just insane. It's an insane video.
Whoops! We weren't expecting company. We need to create an illusion of a clean place. Unfortunately, there aren't any clean dishes. How do we serve food? Here's an idea. I'll use my creative snack stand.
Oh, please do. I can't wait to see it. Creative snack stand. Okay, I'll bite.
Use super glue to attach wooden sticks to the marks.
Do you think Troom Troom has a screaming episode equivalent? Yeah, I feel like I've tuned into nothing and like you guys are just humoring me and I'm just looking at a blank screen.
Tie a cord to the stick.
I think Base Knight says, I think a collab between you and Deadwing Dork would be amazing. I agree, although I don't think I think my channel's a bit small for Deadwing Dork, but oh, if he'd be up for it, I'd very much be up for it.
This will be a stage for my food theater. I just need to add decorations. I'll hang light snacks on it with clothespins. Cheese, meat, herbs,
just meat. I was too busy I'd zoned out, I'll be honest. I wasn't fully paying attention, and the next thing I knew, she was using, again, pegs, not clothespins. Clothespin is not a thing. She was using pegs to hang up cheese like laundry. It's like a tiny washing line with cheese and raw meat.
veggies, and
This is like looking at the face of God and just not being able to comprehend it. I must go to dinner. Please use my money well. Thank you. I will. I'll use 70% of it well. I think YouTube gets the rest.
stand to cover up the dirty dishes. The guests noticed my decorating talent. They definitely liked this dish, and they didn't even bother about plates. I'm getting ready for a walk, but I can't find a pair of socks. I have this issue all the time.
How do you know we aren't just bullshitting you, Jacob? And Jacob is actually looking at a blank screen. Genuinely, you guys could be fucking with me.
I'm not.
Although I don't think my imagination is capable of this. I resent that I'm not creative enough to have come up with Troom Troom.
Going anywhere. My socks are rebelling against me.
I'm not going anywhere. My socks are rebelling against me. There it is, folks. That's the moment we humans became too powerful, too advanced. We killed God, and we just carried on without him. No meaning, no purpose to life anymore. My socks are rebelling against me.
They ran away. This is unbelievable.
Socks ran away. We've all been there. You know, we've all been in that situation.
Keep calm. Megan and her super sock organizer are already here. Glue 18 clothespins to a drawing board with identical gaps between them. Use super glue. Knock knock, this is your bright future. Now
Why do you mock me? This is your bright future. There is no future. You know, because of the murder plague that's killing everybody, but also, even if that actually by some miracle blows over, this is what I've got to look forward to on the website I've chosen to be a part of.
we are gonna put your socks in order. You just have to attach the socks to the board.
Or, I don't know, buy a chest of drawers. You know, get a bit of chipboard, attach pegs to it, and peg your sock. Why would I do this? This is mental. This is the behavior of a crazy person.
And organize them into pairs. There you go. Now your sock department is well ordered. All the socks are in place. We can go for a walk. I have a box.
I feel like this isn't even really YouTube. Like, do you guys remember that episode of Star Trek The Next Generation where Riker is, he wakes up after having a virus, and I think it's like 30 years it's like 30 years into the future. Well, obviously not for us, but I mean for them, in 30 years into the future. The future. I'm going mad. And, like, he's the captain now, and he doesn't remember any of it because of an effect of the virus. It's like, oh, it can spike up at any time and it'll take your memory away of everything after you got infected. And it turns out that it's bollocks. And he starts to realise it's bollocks. Little things don't add up. The way his child behaves and things like that. It's like, not because of course he hasn't got a child. So I've got a kid now who I named Jean-Luc, but it's wrong. And, you know, he starts to fuck with the simulation. Like, noticing that the computer keeps lagging and it's taking Geordie forever to fix it. And, like, Geordie's smarter than that. This wouldn't happen. Data uses a contraction at one point. And he just starts fucking with the simulation. And he's like, he walks up to Worf. He's like, where did you get that scar? And he's like, battle. Which battle? You know, and he starts, like, ranting at him. And then he starts... and tells Picard to shut up and everything. It's a really good funny scene. And then of course you realise, and what's going on? You as the audience don't necessarily know what's happening. And of course you realise that the Romulans have put Riker in a simulation to get information out of him, basically. It's a really fun, silly episode. Anyway, that's how I feel right now. I feel like I'm in a simulation and this isn't really YouTube. Like, Colin's Key kind of clued me in that something was off. But Troom, you look at this, I'm like, this isn't real content. This is a Romulan's idea of what is on YouTube.
Full of memorable cards and photos. It would be great if I could show them off. And I could make that happen. Tie a wide ribbon to a fiberboard ring and make a bow. Attach little decorative pins all around the ring.
I was waiting. Obviously, we need the clothes pegs. Obviously, what you know. So the whole video's about.
Use hot glue. Fasten cards and photos onto the clothespins.
This is not real.
Hang the artwork on the wall. Now all my cards and photos are on display. And they won't get dusty in the box. This is a simple but nice idea. Ew! Something stinks. I see. This trash has been here since last year. Breathing brings tears to my eyes.
Why have you got year-old garbage in your house?
But a clothespin will help me. I can quickly throw away all this trash with a pinched nose. No smell will stop me. I want a clothespin on my ear. But I don't want to pay that much money for it. I can just make it myself. Take a wooden clothespin apart.
It's called a peg, you alien.
Color the wooden pieces with nail polish.
Yeah, this is genuinely quite insidious, isn't it? Like, I really get. Maybe it's just because I've watched too many like weird satirical shows, like like Black Mirror and the modern Doctor Who stuff. But it's like it feels very much like this is some kind of secret project, as Robotnik would put it. And that I'm
put the clothespin
not really watching a YouTube video, you know. Even if it's not the feeling of being in a simulation, but rather the feeling of looking at something that isn't real, of looking at something that doesn't exist. I feel like the room I'm in exists, but the video I'm watching doesn't.
And here's my new earring. Check it out. It's way cheaper than in stores. I want all of Instagram to see me. Tea time! Oh no!
There's a whole community dedicated to theorizing that Troom Troom is an ARG. Oh my god, that's so awesome. It would be great if there was like a Nightmind video about Troom Troom. I'd watch that. Everybody watch that.
Teabag decided to dive into the boiling water again. Now how do I take it out? Ouch! It's hot!
Get a spoon! How do I get this tea bag out of the boiling water? One, you could put your finger and thumb in if you aren't, you know, a complete pussy. But if you've got sensitive fingers, get a spoon.
Stop torturing your fingers. Look, just grab the label with a clothespin.
Or a spoon.
And your tea bag won't give you any more trouble. The girls love dolling up, but no one loves cleaning up afterwards, especially when it comes to hair in the sink.
Watching this, I feel like I have to stop. I think watching this video to the end is like... I'm making a lot of TV references tonight, I know. It's probably something about all the different TV shows I could be watching instead of this. But I feel like finishing this video is going to open like one of the seals from... I don't know if you guys watch Supernatural, but there's... In an early season, there's this plot about the different seals in hell that contain Lucifer. And they're all getting these different rituals to open them all. It's cooler than it sounds, but I feel like watching this video to the end is gonna bring us a little bit closer to the end of the world. So I'm not gonna finish it. Look up Children of the Atom on YouTube. Yeah, but isn't it just gonna be like? Is it just gonna be like cringy, like quartering type people, just going look at his SJW pandering. Like, isn't it just going to be that? I mean, I'll look it up, but yeah, it's just going to be like people like, "What's up, geeks and gamers? Time to talk about why I hate minorities." Like, I'm 90% sure. The laziest X-Men book ever. There is a trailer, okay. I'll just scroll up. Ah, it's the top one. I never, for whatever reason, I usually miss the top result. I think it's just the way I'm always like that. Oh my goodness, look at those likes and dislikes. Oh. Let's go full screen. You know what? Actually, I'm not going to go full screen because Marvel's probably going to, like, demand that I give them money. Because God knows Marvel doesn't have enough money.
There's so many things I could tease.
Actually, the comics department doesn't have any money, but, you know.
About Children of the Atom, but I will say one thing, and that's new characters.
You know that Ned Flanders was like, I've just met you, but I'm sure you're a jerk, whatever it is he says to Lenny. As for you, I have no idea who you are, and I'm sure you're terrible. Something like that. That's how I feel about this guy, Chris Robinson. Don't know anything about him. One look at that guy, I'm like, I think I hate you.
And that's new character.
I think it's like the little, my girlfriend has an OnlyFans mustache, I think is what it is.
X-Men is supposed to be something that is, you know, important to the now. And so what is more now than Zoomers?
She said Zoomers. She's got that hair, those glasses, that fucking, that jumper and button-up shirt combo. You know, like she writes for BuzzFeed in the year 2010. And she said Zoomers. I mean, that's pure fellow kids, isn't it? That's premium, how do you do fellow kids?
Children of the Atom has 5 new characters at the heart of it.
Oh, yes. Tell us about the new characters, my dear friend.
That Vita very meticulously wrote out entire backstories and histories and...
Oh, I bet you did, my friend. I bet you did.
Families and anything you want to know about these characters, Vita has thought about it already.
One of them has a TikTok. One of them has...
One of them has a TikTok! I can't in good conscience dislike this because it's the funniest thing we've watched tonight.
The Fitness Insta. One of them...
Fitness Insta! She said Insta!
Is basically the moderator.
Dom Thorne says, have you ever seen the Bravolotto advert? I don't even know what that is, my friend. I have not.
For the mutant subreddit. One of them is a cosplay.
Of course, Reddit. Reddit is the only place this garbage flies.
And the other one makes mutant music. For so long, it's like the larger media in the X-Men universe is like, mutants are bad and like the X-Men are evil because they're mutants and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what would Zoomers think of that? They would be like, no, they're great. Like,
how the X-Men react to these new characters.
Isn't like the new generation of Zoomers like all super ironically racist though?
Characters who are their...
I'm sure they'd be posting memes of like Doge calling mutants like second-class citizens.
Sidekicks is a major part of the story that is going to have all sorts of ripples through their titles and ours.
But also, you know, it's an X-Men comic. There's going to be powers, and there's going to be punching, and there's going to be bad guys, and all that kind of stuff.
I'm very excited to have Vita Ayala and Bernard Chang as part of this title.
Bernard really, really brought the thunder on this. It's really incredibly dynamic.
Because he not only had to design these superhero...
I hope they show that like really blank, detailless face, and like it's super dynamic.
Identities, but also these civilian identities and like people's moms and like their little brother, and he's making these characters real and whole in a way that a lot of artists probably couldn't.
X-Men was some of my first comics ever, and to be able to play in that universe and also to add to that universe is really a dream come true.
So if you've never read an X-Men book before and you're only familiar with them in other
then if you've never read an X-Men book before, then you're our target audience. You're the only people who like this crap.
mediums, this is a great place to start off.
It's almost like...
That's irresponsible. That's irresponsible to tell people who've never read X-Men that this is a good starting point. Where the fuck do you get off saying that?
The kids are our perspective, so anything that you don't know, you're discovering it through these kids. I don't think we've seen this perspective in X-Men comics before, and I think people are going to super dig it.
Simple comment, but I think it gets to the point. I apologize for my slow typing. That must be annoying. I've said this in other streams. For whatever reason, I just never got good at typing. I've always been I guess I went through years of not having a PC, so I just haven't been a fast typer. Oh, Marvel. Oh, this is the one that has Safe Space and Snowflake. Oh. Oh, let's go. I know about... We talked about them on another stream, but we didn't watch a video. We just looked at the... like some online stuff.
My name is Daniel Kibblesmith, and I am the writer of New Warriors #1. I got interested in the New Warriors later. I remember seeing them on the shelf when I was
Matt said a funny thing to me the other day. He sent me a picture of this guy on Skype, and he said words to the effect. I can't remember his exact words, but he said, "You know, Jacob, you introduced me to the word simp the other day, and I'd never heard it. Had I only heard the word simp and not had the definition explained, I would have suddenly known what it meant when I looked at him." And I think that's perfect, isn't it? This guy looks like that kind of like Wojak kind of soy boy picture. You know those like memes that are like, why does every polyamorous relationship look like this? And it's like a big fat deformed girl with a shirt that says the future is female, and every guy standing around her looks like this. This man is a parody of himself. This is like a Sacha Baron Cohen character.
Interested in the New Warriors later. I remember seeing them on the shelf when I was a kid, picking up comics in the 90s, and just feeling like they were too cool for me. Like I was intimidated by, Night Thrasher had a blade coming out of his wrist. Nova was really buff. They were all the edgy characters for the 90s as the...
Yes, a superhero was incredibly muscular. Wow. What fucking tower of insight you are.
As the cover said. New Warriors, I thought, were really interesting characters because they occupy this really cool space. They're forever young, but they've now been around for 30 years. My editors on the previous books I'd done, like...
You look like you've been around longer than 30 years, mate.
Loki and Black Panther vs. Deadpool asked if I would be interested in doing a New Warriors tie-in that actually poses them as the authority figures in this conflict instead of the rebels, and I really liked the tension of that.
Why? Why did you like that? I hope you explain, because that's a really stupid idea.
So because the New Warriors are the authority figures in this story, they have to be mentoring New Warriors who are under 21 and subject to the laws that...
Under 21, just like the only women who'll date me.
The outlawed event. This new law is making it illegal to be a vigilante under the age of 21. The artist on New Warriors #1 is Luciano Vecchio. He designed all of the new Warriors.
He should be fired. And I don't mean from Marvel, he should be fired out of a fucking cannon.
Gave them costumes that felt as modern as the New Warriors costumes to sort of feel classic and instantly familiar. So the first character that we're introduced to is Trailblazer.
Oh, yes.
She's
fat. She's a superhero. I remember like years ago, it ended up not happening, but there was some fat, like obese Supergirl kind of character that will be flying onto your film screens, and of course, they're flying onto cinema screens, or flying into movie theaters, is what they said on the article. And I really was worried, because I got Facebook banned the other day just for saying I hate women, which, is just oppressive. I'm a gamer, I should be allowed to say that, but I posted because she'll be flying into movie theaters, and I remember I had the top comment for a while because I simply wrote, well, she's not going to be fucking walking, is she? And I think they're superheroes. Like, they spend a lot of their time doing very energetic things, flying around and fighting. They shouldn't look like this.
Group home and foster kid who is volunteering at a senior center when this mysterious threat shows up and Night Thrasher runs
The only trail she's blazing is the trail to McDonald's.
And because she helps him, she ends up in the crosshairs of this new outlawed law, and she inherited from her grandfather a magic backpack of divine origin. We picked the name Trailblazer because she's somebody who charges into action. She knows that she can do some good.
She charged into action, but she should be at like the back of the line there. Let's be honest, she can't keep up with these like slim people.
With this, mysterious gift that she's been given. Screen time is a internet kid taken to its sort of logical conclusion as a youth.
Oh god. I know about screen time. I didn't know about Trailblazer, but I know about screen time.
He was exposed to his grandfather's experimental internet gas.
As a kid, he was exposed to his grandfather's experimental internet gas. That is a worse origin than Freakazoid. If you're too young to know Freakazoid, and some of you probably are, Freakazoid was a comedy character developed by I've lost the no, I thought I'd lost the audio then. Developed by Steven Spielberg's company, the animation company, in the 90s. He was a ridiculous superhero, absolutely terrible at his job. And his entire backstory was this nerdy kid was on the internet too long and got zapped into the internet and became Freakazoid. That was his entire backstory. Of course, it was played for laughs. That was in the 90s. Now, some 30 years later, this shit. This is apparently not a joke. This character who's a mix of Freakazoid and a rejected Rick and Morty episode.
And that has patched him permanently into the World Wide Web.
The World Wide Web? Motherfucker, how old are you? My mum doesn't say World Wide Web.
The word screen time is only ever used...
Why don't you say the net or something? Are you that fucking old?
...in a sort of restrictive sense. And because we're doing a story about teenage rebels, a lot of the names are about teens fighting against labels that are put on them. So with screen time, we liked the idea that he has infinite screen time. Snowflake and Safe Space are the twins, and their names are very...
Snowflake and Safe Space. I mean, everyone knows about this. Why would you draw that, like, weird, like, tiny testicles there? Like, weird... Like, your eye is immediately drawn to it, the way it's drawn. It's in the middle of the frame, for one thing. And they have these, like, very small testicles. That's weird. Why would you draw it like that?
Similar to screen time. It's this idea that these are terms that get thrown around on the internet that they don't see as derogatory to take.
These terms that get thrown out on the internet. Yeah, maybe if you made this comic in 2015, you're 5 years too late to reclaim the words, fucking Snowflake and Safe Space. And also, that's not how that works.
Those words and kind of wear them as badges of honor. Safe Space is kind of a big, burly, sort of stereotypical jock. He can create force fields, but he can only trigger them if he's protecting somebody else. Snowflake is non-binary.
See, this is why I feel kind of fuck you to this guy, because his character is like, Snowflake. Now, my non-binary superhero is going to use a word that has, in the past, again, nobody uses it anymore because it's not 2016, it's that kind of cringy 2014 to 2017 era of YouTube is over. But that whole idea of where we're going to have a non-binary character and reclaim the word safe space. No, Snowflake, forgive me. We're going to reclaim the word Snowflake for the non-binary character. That's fucked up, dude. When Miles Morales became Spider-Man, you didn't call him the N-word. He wasn't called fucking, I don't know, Spider-Wog or something horrible. Because that's really fucked up. Like, dude, what is wrong with you?
And goes by they, them. Snowflake has the power to generate
imbecile
individual crystallized snowflake-shaped shurikens. The connotations of the word snowflake in our culture right now are something fragile. And this is a character who is turning it into something sharp. Snowflake is the person who has the more offensive power, and Safe Space is the person who has the more defensive power. The idea was that they would mirror each other and complement each other. B Negative is the goth kid. When he was a baby, he got a rogue life-saving blood transfusion, we assume from Michael Morbius, and now he has a very...
Can't believe I'm sticking up for Morbius the Living Vampire, one of the dumbest characters in Spider-Man, but fuck you for dragging Morbius through the mud like that.
Similar look and very similar vampire powers. B Negative also is obviously a pun. It's a blood type, which is great for a vampire character, and it's also a proud ownership of the idea of having a bad attitude. I want the people who read Our New Warriors to
hate
feel
it?
all of
You want them to
the
hate it? Because that's what's going to
excitement
happen.
They felt if they read the 90s one. We want it to have big, colorful characters, personality clashes, romance, a diverse cast, which is something that the New Warriors titles have always strived to make a priority. Every New Warriors comic has always felt like a reflection.
I love the character's called B Negative as well. I'm inspired to be negative. There we go.
And I don't think we're worried about being dated. I think we're way more interested about it being now.
You're worried about it being now, which is why it will date very quickly. Yeah, horrific. That's one of the worst things I've ever seen.
Everybody gets scared in the hospital. You're sick. You feel awful.
Yeah, it's dated before it's even launched. I agree. It feels like yeah, it feels like something from forever ago. You know, from fucking 2015, 2016. Like Ghostbusters 2016 was kind of like that era when everything was kind of outrageously woke and in your face, and it's like we've kind of moved on from that now, or at least I thought we had. Now, guys, has anyone got any more ideas for content we can make fun of? I think we've had a good laugh here. Troom was fucking disturbing, but like the nostalgia critic shit, that stupid slime YouTuber, this crap, you know, we've had a good time. I'm happy to go on a little while longer. It's pretty late, but there's still quite a lot of you here, at least for one of my streams. You know, 125 people, it's quite a large number, so for, you know, a channel like mine. So if you guys have any more ideas for content to make fun of, I'm happy to jump in and take a look at it. We've done J Station. I did a whole stream just on J Station. Not gonna go back there.
What's that? It's another 2 months, another bleed.
SuperMario Logan. All right. Let's do it. I don't like how high up that is. 8.46 million subscribers. I don't like the puppets. I really don't. I find puppets quite sinister. I always hated that guy. It was Jeff Dunham. I don't just go watch and it's 6 seconds long. Jeffy gets a pet shop. At least they're quite short. Thank you for 6 million subscribers. Sorry. Alright, let's go.
Thank you for 6 million subscribers.
I gave you $2 to react to Mundane Matt. Yes, you did. I apologize. I'll fire that up now. I genuinely had forgotten. It wasn't a deliberate thing. I had actually forgotten that you'd done that. Right.
Thanks, guys, for helping us hit 6 million subscribers. I honestly thought this channel was dead. I thought it was dead.
It technically still is.
There's no ads on the channel, but guys...
Why is the puppet masturbating?
You keep subscribing, you keep supporting this channel, so eventually...
And why has he got a nappy?
We will hit 10 million subscribers. We're only 4 million away.
That's
We're
gross.
over halfway there.
Yeah.
We're 4 million away. 4 million is not that much.
No.
So this obviously isn't aimed at kids, because, you know, he's masturbating. But, like, who is this aimed at, then?
Let's hit 10 million. Let's get that diamond play button so we can hold it up and say, look, YouTube, you still have to give us this.
So we can sell it so we can actually make some money off this channel.
Yeah, I think it's a real diamond. So
it might be.
So we can sell it and then we can make more videos. But
Look at this Fred Durst looking motherfucker. If we're going to talk about stuff that's dated, this guy's entire look. Look at him. Your bald head and your chin strap.
we want to say thank you guys for continuing to watch, even though YouTube tried to screw us and tried to take down our channel.
They did. they did screw us.
Logan was trying to be positive, Coogan.
I'm sorry.
We moved to Super.
Happy day.
We moved to Super Luigi Logan.
Yes.
So thank you guys for supporting this channel and supporting Super Luigi Logan. We still upload 2 new videos every week on Super Luigi Logan. Go check out those new videos. We upload.
I'm not going to do that.
Job and Bowser Jr.'s Bad.
All right, so I already don't like you guys. You're annoying. Let's watch one of the videos about the puppet.
Come on, Mr. Fishy, I'm bored. Huh? I think I got a fishy.
Is the joke that he's retarded?
A whole bunch of big one.
Because he's got a nappy on, and like he couldn't stop touching himself. Which, again, it's something that people with certain people with profound learning difficulties they have that issue. And obviously he's got a pencil up his nose and he's wearing a crash helmet.
I guess the fish just aren't biting.
Is that's the joke, isn't it? He's retarded.
Huh?
Oh, that's really loud. Sorry, everyone, that's really loud. Just turn that down a second.
This video, go subscribe to Super Bowser Logan. That's our new.
If you want to continue watching this video, I don't. Who is this for? Like, who is the target audience of this shit? I'm leaving. Right, let's do Mundane Matt. We're all getting 1,200 quarantine bucks. I'm not. I'm not getting anything. I think it's only in America. We're not getting shit over here. We just gotta literally everybody who can't work from home and is a non-essential worker is like, guess I'll die. Like that's pretty much the situation we've got over here. All right, now. Has anyone got any recommendations for which video we should do for Mundane Matt here? He doesn't upload very often, does he? Like, this guy, considering he's quite a big YouTuber, like, I have a better upload schedule than this guy, and I'm way too lazy. Yeah, I don't know which one we should do. They're all really long. Are there any like normal ones? Oh, what if we're like Mundane Matt cringe compilation or something? You know what I mean? Like, so we can look at something somebody else has done. Has anyone made that? No, but Mundane Matt's exposed kill stream highlights could work. Let's try this.
No, okay. Alright, didn't want to speak out of turn. Sorry about getting your fucking channel nuked. 100%. I'm not, no benefit of the doubt bullshit. Matt did this. I've seen this happen 6 or 7 times. I've seen it happen repeatedly to people that put up videos criticizing
Matt. What's the context of this? Also, I don't know who that is, but someone has a sleeping gnu as their as their Google Hangouts picture. Rip in peace, Google Hangouts on air, by the way. Someone has a sleeping new, and I respect them for that because I love even if that was Matt himself. I just fucking love I love news. I think they're adorable.
Near instant fucking taneously, they get pulled down. There is no way that Matt didn't do this, and I suspect that he did it on all the other ones too. Oh well, what about your funny little?
Oh, I know about Bob Chipman's McDonald's thing. Like, somebody posted this huge McDonald's order, and he's like, honestly, it's not that much food. I'm like, Bob, what the hell's wrong with you?
Videos, Matt. Are you a fucking racist? Do you hate black people? Because how do I interpret the video where you're talking about? I don't even want to say it. I don't want to get you flagged again. We'll call them basketball Americans.
Basketball Americans.
So Matt, when you're talking about the basketball Americans,
you know, he's the only other one that has it. So if he would like to come on,
well, wait, Ralph, I posted the link on Gab and said, hey, this is a live stream of Jews talking about banking. Here's the Hangout link, and I don't know if that means they're going to get anybody or not. I don't know.
Good lord.
You know, the vibe on Gab. We'll see what happens.
I get home, I hang out.
Oh, here he is. Oh, let's go, guys. What did I say? I've never seen this before. Here, he false flagged the kill stream for showing an old racist video he made. Oh, fantastic.
I watch a little bit of news, see what's going on, help with my daughter, and then all of a sudden my fucking Discord starts blowing up my phone with these messages and Joaquin drawing my name on his nutsack.
It never goes down that fast. The only thing that gets something pulled that fucking fast is somebody having an in at YouTube or somebody having a verified high sub account.
I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding you. I went down and picked up boulders today.
He went and
You're a cuck.
boulders.
Bye.
Hate campaigns, quote unquote, you're never gonna get in. So just own it. Just be your own man and say what you think. I mean, you're never gonna get anywhere riding that fence.
I don't think it's the truth, but the second thing is there is a way you can show your reporting history on YouTube. I'll link it in the chat. So if you didn't do it, they should have nothing in it, correct?
Oh,
the plot thickens.
Oh, I like that. I'm annoyed though that I just want to hear Matt make a fool of himself. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't really want to hear these other guys talk because I don't really know any of them. Like, I know Jim, and that's it.
Here, give me a second.
No, you're taking way too long, Matt. You're guilty as fuck. Take a screenshot. Well, we want to see what you reported, all right? Stop fucking around. It's been like fucking 8 minutes.
Jesus Christ,
Take a
dude.
screenshot and show him. No, I'm sick of you lying. You're such a fucking snake, and everybody can see through it.
Jesus Christ.
You're a fucking dirty little snake that fucking narcs on people and reports people to the cops, and then you come into this fucking call like a Walmart greeter. Shut the fuck up, take a screenshot, and show everyone now. 10 seconds, bitch boy, or you're a confirmed liar. 10, 9,
How am I
8,
able to hold on a
7,
second.
6, 5, 4.
You know that you're a prick when like you've got people siding with fucking Keemstar, when the audience is laughing and being like, "Hey, you, way to go, Keemstar!" Like, you know that you fucked up.
3, screenshot, 2, 1.
Look, Ralph,
the bitch.
I will
He's
say
the one that flagged your channel.
No, I'm not the one that flagged your channel.
Well, just take the screenshot.
Mundane Matt crying. Oh, we have to watch that. We have to watch that.
I am working on it right now.
Tears of soy. All right, let's do it.
Mundane Matt is a...
Oh, fucking Count Dankula's there as well. How do I miss all this crazy stuff that happens on the internet? Come on, play.
A fat, soy-soaked, penisless abomination who cries over YouTube form letters.
You know, I feel like I should read that one.
Just like fucking Dankula just in the bottom there. These white men are going crazy. Says fast core algorithm.
Not like the same thing that Dick Masterson said on some
Oh my god, look at him.
other show.
I'm so glad they're not playing the audio. I'm joking about it. I genuinely struggle to watch a grown man cry. It's just one of those like things for me that I just hate looking at.
About me.
Flagging son of a bitch.
Well,
He false flags
I think that was
people all
him,
the
actually.
time. He doesn't have a penis.
He's got a vagina
What's going on?
full of joy and hurt feelings. I think he's a fat sack of shit who mistakes
Someone's playing it.
How'd that happen?
It was through the. It was through the. You know.
Oh, the TTS?
Yeah.
They put audio in?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
That was interesting.
Yeah. I was like, why is Dick Masterson on the show all of a sudden?
Look at Mundane Matt.
That's pretty funny.
That got weird.
To address the point of getting a real job.
Oh fuck! I'm gonna get copyright claimed because of the music. Right. Oh man. Okay.
Whatever the fuck.
This was
that
it.
is.
So this was in June 2016. So I missed all of this. This is old school. This is
all right.
This is old school like YouTube. Not old school YouTube, but like you know what I mean. Old school drama that I missed.
Oh, shit, the fuck is this thing? Oh god. Oop. Nope. Think I might have accidentally. Okay, hold on. It's a big box, so an impromptu speech that I'm making up on the fly. When I started my channel back in February of 2012, I was in a very
We have the exact same microphone, and I hate that we do.
dark place. I've told this story multiple times. I'm not going to reiterate it here. I just was in a very bad place. And over the course of almost 4.5 years, I have worked pretty much every day to build up this brand, build up my name, build up
this brand. Jesus Christ, dude, get a real job.
Presence online, and it's something that I am super thankful to have the opportunity to do every day. For the past roughly 14, almost 15 months, this has been my full-time job. And it's not easy. I work 7 days a week, and I don't get to take vacations, basically, without a lot of prep work. But ultimately, it's extremely rewarding. It's extremely fun. It's ungodly humbling. And it's something that...
Yeah, you seem really humble, Matt. When does the crying
but
start?
ultimately, none of that matters. None of the negative matters. It can be a lonely experience. It can, because I'm the only one here. I'm the only one here, and then I rely on you guys to kind of for some outside contact every once in a while. But this to me allows for that validation, that what I'm doing, what I have done, the hard work, it's paying off. And I know it might be stupid to say that, and I know you've just done something very few YouTube creators accomplish. You have.
Why would you upload this? He's not talking while he cries. He could cut it.
Sorry.
Or do another take. Why would you ever let your audience see this?
You made it to this milestone with hard work?
It's like a copy-pasted letter as well. Like, it's... do you know what I mean? This is like somebody... Like we got a letter about the COVID-19, the new rules from the Prime Minister's office with Boris Johnson's signature on it. Of course, it's mass-produced letter that everybody in the country gets. We didn't start freaking out. It's like, oh my god, the Prime Minister sent us a letter. Fucking hell.
Perseverance.
Weakling.
Oh my god, I'm sorry. I did this.
Why in God's name, would you let your audience see this?
Congratulations, Mundane Matt, for surpassing 100,000 subscribers.
Fucking ridiculous. Ridiculous behavior. That's actually more annoying than it is funny. My god. Apparently, people in the chat are saying he looks like he's fake crying. I don't know. I don't know what you would have to gain from that. Do you know what I mean? Like, why? Because he's crying like tears of joy. Do you know what I mean? So like, sorry, just that thumbnail of like the bullet coming. Monday Matt's career, Monday Matt. Like, why would you pretend to like cry this again soy infused, you know, weak crying? Why would you put that on YouTube? What would you have to gain from pretending you were like that? I don't think he is faking it, because that's just so embarrassing. Yeah, that's honestly, I was embarrassed by that. That was ridiculous. What a sad note to end on. So I think we're gonna find one more. We're gonna find one more thing to make fun of, because I don't want to wrap it up with a fat weakling crying on camera. I think that's an absolutely embarrassing way to end the stream. Not crying from joy, but because of the support from his own subscribers, but instead from a stock manufactured company letter. Yeah, that's what was so embarrassing about it. Just reading this like generic ass letter they send to you when you cross a certain milestone. A lot of people are saying Snuff Bomb. I didn't know Snuff Bomb had a channel. I'm vaguely familiar with him from, you know, the sex crimes. I'm quitting this channel. Please watch. All right.
Yes, you read that.
He fucking looks like a sex criminal, doesn't he? I don't like. So I don't know all the details. Nothing was ever proven. A lot of people say he was innocent, and I'm inclined to believe that he was innocent in the sense that a lot of people make that shit up. A lot of people have been proven to be innocent of this kind of stuff. Just kind of looks like one, though, doesn't he?
That clickbait title.
Just kind of looks like he did it. Some English bloke. Real talk, is Mundane Matt crying more pathetic than Wings of Redemption crying? Yeah. Well, I think they're about the same. I mean, the Wings of Redemption one was embarrassing as well. I think with the Wings of Redemption, it was slightly excusable in the sense that it was... what's the phrase I'm looking for? I'm gonna get the fuck away from Snuff Bomb for a second, because I feel like he might, you know, touch me without asking. Allegedly, but he was live streaming. Do you know what I mean? So with the Wings of Redemption, it was a live stream, and yeah, he reacted really embarrassingly, and you know, started crying on camera and everything, and didn't cut the stream. But Mundane Matt recorded that video, didn't cut out him crying like a bitch, and then uploaded it to YouTube. There were steps. There was any point where he could have gone, nah, I'm not letting anyone see this. Whereas with Wings of Redemption, once the crying started, he was fucked. There was nothing he could have done. So I think the Mundane Matt one is worse. Cooking with Jack. Well, yeah, we'll head over to there in just a second. The Snuff Zone? Right. Why not, eh? What is this?
Nasty public breakups and some serious mental breakdowns like, woo, you fell hard. And
you know what? Entire episode on this guy, I think. There is no way we can cover everything in the last few minutes of the stream. So I'm going to jump up to the super chat from Ian McDonald, which says Cooking with Jack, and we're going to try that out. Oh my god, he looks just like my ex, who is a criminal, says Blue Moon Samurai. React to Tonka Saw, he's an internet tough guy. Oh my god, he's so shit. I know Tonka Saw. Like, I don't know him, but I mean, I know who he is. And I remember when that fucking prick Devin Tracy was like sucking his dick on a live stream. Like, oh, you're gonna beat up Andy Warski, and he didn't even fucking show up. It was so embarrassing. Yeah, Devin Tracy's a fucking embarrassment as well. Is this the guy that made the party cheese salad? Because I'm sure we've done him if this is the guy I think it is. I recognise the weird hat. Let's watch this video.
Hey guys, welcome to the Cooking with Jack show. My name is Jack Scalfani. I appreciate you coming by. I hope you subscribe. I hope you like the videos you watch here.
Yes, we've done him.
We do a lot of product
We've watched
reviews.
some of his stuff.
They're brutally
it's
honest
hilarious.
product reviews, so we won't like everything we review. And
Annoyingly, I think he was on the one where we reacted to Onision's channel and we got copyright claimed. But yeah, I think...
tell you the truth, in every video.
So Onision basically wanted to... Basically, Onision was like, right, I'm claiming your ad revenue from this stream. So I was like, right, I'm not keeping it up then. Because YouTube sided with him because we showed like a 3-minute video of his in like a fucking 3-hour stream. And I was like, no, like, you're not getting a penny. Fuck off. And I just like took the stream down.
If we taste food and we don't like it, it's gone, all right? We also do lazy men videos. We do playing with your food videos. Pretty much anything you want.
Tonka Saw is such an embarrassment. I wonder if his video with Devin Tracy is still up. Oh my god, Tonka Saw did a stream recently with Atheism is Unstoppable and Crowton Tea, like the fucking worst possible embarrassing people to be on a stream with. Yeah, I assume Atheist, like, I'll put his full channel name, but I think he probably took it down because he really, really made himself look foolish. Well, yeah, apparently he did a stream. Yeah, he did a fucking stream with Tonka Saw though a week ago. So to give you guys a little bit of context, because this was back in 2019. And as you can see from the likes, Milk aged better than this. Basically, Tonka Saw was one of those guys who, internet tough guy, went around telling everybody he didn't like, fight me in real life, fight me in real life. And finally, not a particularly tough guy, but just sort of a average kind of slightly cringy anti-SJW type YouTuber called Andy Warski, who I used to quite like. He used to do these before he got famous. He used to do this show called Worst of Twitter, which I used to enjoy. No, it wasn't called Worst of Twitter. What was it? It was called Dumbest Tweets Ever, and I rather liked that show. And I thought, well, he's seems like a funny enough guy, but he never struck me as a big tough guy or anything. But he got he got called out of like, fight me in real life, and he went okay, and he started training and hitting the gym and doing getting boxing lessons and all this. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna fight this guy, and he really worked hard, and Tonka Saw, predictably being an internet tough guy, pussied out. So there's the context. Now this happened before Tonka Saw pussied out. This video, and it's wonderfully embarrassing, and I'm amazed Devin has left it up.
Fucking retard. You fucking retard. You got used by some Irish bitch for a green card. You fucking pussy. You fucking pussy. You are a fucking...
So that's Andy Warski there, the guy you just saw with the beard.
Pussy.
Again, he's not a big tough guy.
Yes, you faggot.
Do you know what I mean? He's just like sort of average looking guy. He's not a big muscle man or anything. But he was like, yeah, fuck you, I'll fight you.
Midget. You're a midget, right? Midget. He's 5'9".
5'9" or 5'10".
5'9" or 5. I'm 5'11", so I'm taller than him. And he's a skinny motherfucker. You don't like what I'm saying? Fucking shut me up, cuck. Shut me up, cucksky.
I'm gonna beat the living shit out of you, Tonga. It's gonna be great. Oh!
Don't you ever step up to a fucking man.
Don't you ever step up to a fucking man, folks.
Unless
Because
you're
that man will cry and make excuses and not show up to the fight.
ready to fucking step up to a goddamn man. Low IQ cucksky over there can't even read can't even read the English language. Can't even read the fucking English language, talking about how, I'll tear you apart, Tonka. I'll tear you apart, Tonka. Motherfucker, I'm a gangster from America. You are a pussified, cucked addict from Canada. Do you honestly think that you're not gonna get fucked? Please don't.
I don't even stutter that much.
Do you honestly think you're not gonna get fucked?
I don't care about you. Fuck out of here. Fucking knock you out anyways. Yes, Fuck out of here. I accept your fight. I accept it. I am not afraid. Please, actually,
it's time.
So we'll skip forward a little bit.
I've had a lot of people send me that.
And you know, we'll have a listen to this fucking loser go on and on about what a tough guy is and how he's going to beat Andy Warski's ass. And remember, he pussied out and didn't show up, and Andy Warski actually turned up on the day and won by default.
Okay, because that's what this feels like.
I hate Devin's voice as well. Like,
it just what I.
And this is what it feels like, you know. And I'm not racist. I'm not racist. But fuck you, you're a Jew.
Love about it is nobody really knows. Nobody's seen either of you fight, so people are kind of confused as to how this might go, and both sides seem to.
Of course, it's cringy. It's fucking atheism is unstoppable. It's a terrible channel. I used to like this shit when I was like, you know, however the fuck old I was when I found it, when I was edgy, and very quickly I was like, oh, this is actually garbage. What's wrong with me? Like this guy, an amazing atheist, and all that shit.
You know, positive in terms of their chances. They're highly optimistic. You must find some enjoyment in that. That has to be humorous to you. Okay.
A lot. That's one of my favorite aspects of this entire thing. Is I've always, like, since probably the first stream I ever did, I was pretty big on the whole, why do people take these people who have internet access and a Google account so damn seriously?
Mm-hmm.
And that's always been one of my things. That's pretty much like, that is the requirement. That's all it takes. Like, you have to go merit by merit on all of these people.
Yeah, and I feel like some of these guys feel inflated just because they get views. Or,
yeah.
Like, what does that have to do with you?
When you think you can climb Mount Everest because you got 20K subscribers or something like, that's not how life works.
Right.
A bunch of people retweeted you. That doesn't mean you can do anything.
Yeah, it's like I just got to 100,000 subs. That doesn't mean I'm now qualified to be a Sherpa to go up Everest. It just means nothing. Just means...
I'm not a tour guide now. I'm not an archaeologist. I made a dinosaur video once, and now 10,000 people watched it. Okay, I'm an archaeologist. That's not how it works.
It's true. It's reality check is a funny and yet harsh thing.
So yeah, here is some.
I have a question.
Some things that happened. You know, fails to bring his blood work on time. The name submitted on the blood work is different from the name signed on the contract because apparently the dude changed his name. New contract to be signed. There's a lot of weird stuff going on.
Advice from you. Should I ever step up to a man if I'm not ready to step up to a man?
That's always the worst plan, in my opinion. I think that the best advice I can give anybody in the world is don't you ever step up to a man. Don't do it.
Okay. Now, let's review. In a week's time, you will be engaging in physical combat with a stuttering drug addict from Canada. How did
a stuttering drug addict he was frightened to get into the ring with?
We get here? How could you briefly, I know you're sick to death of talking about it, but...
Praise the Trail Park Tribe. Also, Skeptic Stream. Yes, I would love to take apart all these fucking idiots. All these absurd, you know, so-called skeptics on YouTube. And a lot of these people are people I used to like when I was way cringier, and yeah, they're all asking for it.
Summarize it, crystallize it for us. Why are we doing this?
Well, this grand journey began. Everybody, well, I don't know. This might be easier to summarize it with just say that one day there was this stream last November where I'm talking to, I think, Johnny Fox. He just showed up on the stream. I would do a stream. It's just a morning show. People come in and talk. Mundane Matt shows up. Mr. Medica jizzes his jeans so hard listening to somebody yelling at Mundane Matt that he then sticks around my show like a fucking leech for the next, like, I don't know, 3 months. Like, he is a parasite who has affixed himself to my side. He is on the show all the time, and it's fun.
Oh, yes, yes. I'm sure Tonka Saw. Yes, Mr. Metacaw's riding your dick. That's what's happening here.
Because I'm all right. The guy's funny. What the hell of it? But he starts calling it internet blood sports. Starts trying to paint this. This is the pinnacle of everything. When from the jump, when I start talking about the pinnacle of everything is when you get in there and you do the deal. When you get in there and you fight, that is the pinnacle. That is the end result. That is the ultimate. That's what it is. And I don't know. It got irritating after a while. Just people would randomly show up and yell and yell and yell. And the reason that they would yell wasn't anything real. People were just wanting to be seen for the hell of it. One of those people is Andy. Before you know it, Andy being really good friends with Failure, he eventually talks with Failure, and he essentially a staple on the show. Whenever Andy fell on hard times after losing JF as a co-host, kind of needed a financial boost, and I'm not exactly hurting, so I was like, whatever, we can go over it on Andy's channel. We've been flagged off of my channel. We're doing stuff on Failure's channel, and okay, we'll go to Andy's channel. We'll do things there for a second. One day, Andy makes almost 2K. The next day, he'll make like 7K, or not 7K, but 700. One day, he made $250. You have never seen a man freak out so much. This is the end. The sky is falling. This is not going to work anymore. Da 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 da. And I'm just thinking, especially here recently, I bet that boy would kill for a $250 day these days. But at the time, that was enough. It was just like, all right.
Let's just jump forward a little, because this guy's voice is very monotonous. I really just want to get to the to some stuff of him acting like a tough guy and threatening this guy.
Try to talk to a few people, and I got to think it's, Failure wanted to, but I get, he's a nice guy, but he's not in with all of this. But there was something that happened, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago. I don't know if you heard about it, but Andy straight up just stole some money from him.
Right.
So now Failure's very much into the idea of being able to see it as it happens.
Yeah, I
So
think
like, okay, I got a corner.
he was trying to downplay that as, of course I did something fucked up to you because I don't like you anymore. Like that was his justification.
Kind of, yeah. Yes, I stole from you. I stole $1,500 from you 5 days before Christmas.
Right. I mean, if Failure's there and you owe him something, that's a dangerous cocktail. I wouldn't want to.
It's gonna be interesting if they cross each other in a hall or something like that. Like they used to be friends. Andy tries to tell people me and him used to be friends. He tried to tell the promoter on the interview we've been friends for 3 years. I haven't even known Andy for 3 years.
Yeah, that's rough.
Started talking to him around this time last year, maybe in like November of last year. So maybe a year and a little change.
There's too many lies to keep track of. No.
Yeah, you can't even.
Yeah, for example, I will show up to this fight and win. Yeah, so that was a very funny little trip down memory lane, and I hope some of you guys who didn't know about this whole thing, got a little bit out of it, because it was a fun little internet drama that happened last year, and it definitely takes me back. But I think I think I'm going to say goodnight now. This has been a fun stream for me, even though parts of it were a little painful from the sheer amount of either cringe or just general weirdness. But I hope you've had a good time. And if you haven't, that sucks. Sorry. But if you have, awesome. I'm glad you have. I have too. And by the way, anyone who's about Tonka Saw's what his avatar is supposed to be, It's supposed to be him as an alien from They Live, I think, judging by the color scheme and everything. Because I know the aliens are at the end of the film when you see them without the glasses. You know, they're a sort of blue color like this with the red and pink sort of muscles coming through. But yeah, what a pussy! All right, folks. Yeah, good night, and you know, with the exception of watching Mundane Matt cry, this has been pretty fun. So cheers.